AirComfortService.com/repair or replace.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Reid.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. We're happy to be here with you this afternoon. James is on the board. James, we're gonna break this ice right here, right now. Brad has got a day off, so we got James filling in on the board, and we're really excited about it. Say hi to everybody, James.
How's it going?
Microphone was on. A+ work, Ryan.
Great job. Good job, James.
Ethan is standing over the shoulder just to babysit, and I am completely unprepared. I have not put on enough mascara for the day, so my powers will be weakened.
Are your powers purely visual? I thought we worked in an audio medium.
I know. It just makes me feel better about me.
Oh, okay.
When I have my lashes on. Glam.
Glam Platner.
Glam Platner. Maybe that's his next gig. It's his drag name.
That's going to be, somebody's going to take that name now.
Glam Platner?
Yes.
Will you Google that?
Yeah,
see if there's got to be a Glam Platner out there somewhere. Man, this guy's having a rough go at it.
Yep, and I'm going to put it in quotes to make sure it's exact.
A really, really rough go at things. Glam Platner, yesterday, accusations came out towards him that he forcibly entered the home of a woman years ago and forced himself upon her. And so that's called rape. Breaking and entering and rape. That's the allegation that has been made towards Glam Platner, and everything is crumbling down. Oh, wait, no, that's a building in New York City right now. Did you see that story?
No, I haven't seen that.
There is a skyscraper in New York City that was evacuated today because it's apparently crumbling.
Oh, okay.
We will update you on that. Kind of a wild story here is a Fox News update by James Cerrone. A Midtown Manhattan high-rise building near Grand Central Terminal was evacuated Tuesday morning after authorities said it was at risk of collapsing. Officials with the NYFD, New York Fire Department, said they received a call at 7:57 a.m. about falling bricks at 235 East 42nd Street between 2nd Avenue and 3rd Avenue. I think this is right where I stayed when I went to New York City.
Did you stay in that building?
I don't know. It was a beautiful building, but it was old. I got to look at the details here.
Did you chip away at the foundation when you were
there?
there?
I didn't touch it. I didn't do anything. No. It wasn't me.
What's up with the lady with the ice pick?
This is also 2019. So it's a Midtown Manhattan high-rise building near Grand Central Terminal. Fox News goes on to say the building was once the corporate headquarters for the pharmaceutical company Pfizer, which moved to the Pfizer.
Where'd they go?
I don't know. Looks like they got out while the getting was good.
I guess so.
Once the corporate headquarters for the pharmaceutical company Pfizer, which moved to the Spiral in Hudson Yards in 2018, the 38-story building was sagging between the 21st and 26th floors. That's scary.
Well, it happens when you get older.
Just need a little lift and a tuck and a pinch.
Yeah, get a nice facial and be fine.
According to the FDNY, first responders also noted that 2 columns buckled between the 21st and 22nd floors. Approximately 130 fire and EMS personnel were activated to evacuate the premises. The building is in the process of being converted. It is in the process into an apartment complex with more than 1,600 units. The project was slated for completion by 2027. 6 other surrounding buildings were also evacuated as a precaution. There have been no reported injuries. Well, that's good. So that building actually crumbling in downtown Manhattan, but the actual senatorial campaign of Glam Platner is just in absolute peril. And I'm just shocked that it's not going great.
It's sad to me because you don't really usually see Democrats do this where the people will elect a candidate and then they'll come back later. The party apparatus comes back later and says, no, you were wrong. They just don't do that, and it's just shame to see that happen to a candidate here from the Democrats.
I want to make a deal with the Democrats, and it's if Glam Platner steps out of the race, which I am promising you he will do, if not today, before July 13th, which is next Monday, and I'll tell you why here in a second. that if he is out of the race, I don't ever want to see the topless picture of him and his tattoo ever again in my life. And his walrus mustache. What is the mustache?
What if he's riding a horse? And it's in Russia.
Maybe that's his punishment. You have to go fight in the war.
For Russia?
I don't care. I mean, no, I don't want anyone to fight in the war for Russia. Can we talk? X's and Y's is at 2:30. A third of our normal team is out of the room, so we will take your questions for X's and Y's on the text line. If you're unfamiliar, you usually listen to us at noon. Maybe you don't touch point at 2:30. This is one of my favorite segments that we do on the air. Do you like this? You like that segment, right?
Oh, it's just, yeah, it's fun.
Is it because you're a man?
I just like everything because I'm a man. I have privilege.
We talk about the differences between boys and girls and ask questions so that the opposite gender traditionally can explain things for us. So if you have a text or if you have a question, can you give me an example of a question that they could text us at 314-241-97? I was just recording live for vacation. I don't want Stewie's, who will also be in here at 1:30. 314-241-9797 if you want to text us your questions.
So an example of a question might be something like, why do women always stay in the car after you get out of it?
This is a hot one.
Which is a weird question, but we've discussed it at least twice now.
Today, we should make James answer all the questions on behalf of women.
Yes, on behalf of women. Or just questions we couldn't get answers to. We fought over.
I feel sorry for James here because James is at the whim of you and me today.
Yeah.
He can't, he could turn our microphones off, but then what?
Right, then he's in trouble.
Are you feeling
corporate.
good about today? On a scale of 0 to 10, James, how comfortable are you right specifically now?
I'll say 5 right now.
Oh, perfect. That's
right in the middle.
That's right where we want him.
Kind of push him around.
Yeah. Back and forth.
Yeah.
We have to make sure that we always understand that there is a good cop and a bad cop.
Right.
We can't both be good cop.
But listen, most of the time, you know how I am with cops. No cops, all right? All the situations I'm always saying. No cops, you guys. Before we get into this, no cops.
Anyhow, the Graham Platner candidacy is a huge, huge, obvious, just cultivated analogy for the Democrat Party right now, which is we'll take anything but Donald Trump. How many people voted for Donald Trump because they said he's not the Democrats? We'll support him. So is the left doing the same thing as the right here? I'm going to challenge that assertion because that's what you're going to hear a lot of people say. When Graham Platner steps out of the race, a lot of people are going to say, no, we didn't go with our guy. We were willing to pull him out of the race. They're just going to be waving their own flags and championing this moment where they say, we have standards. We have values, and we're not going to compromise for the sake of party. No, what they're going to do, guys, do you understand that if Platner removes himself voluntarily from the race before Monday, July 13th, guess how he's replaced on the ballot? The main Democrats pick. They pick their horse. Some people are suggesting it's going to be Susan Rice. I don't know who it's going to be, but once again, you have a Democrat who won a primary election. You Democrats in Maine do not get to walk away from the fact that you knew a whole lot of really crappy allegations about this man. He has not ever been an upstanding, bastion of hope for a new tomorrow in the United States of America. This guy is a trash person. Top to bottom, yes, one last time, the Nazi tattoo on the shirtless walrus. What is with his mustache? It's too long.
I don't know. I don't really notice his mustache. That
Google him right now and
X's
look.
And Y's question.
His mustache, it's like the hair on the top of his lip, like the very top under his nose, is the longest hair. Why?
Would you call that style of mustache a glam Platner?
I guess I will now. He's literally bowing in studio. He literally took a bow. This man had red flags all over the place. Everywhere you look, it's, no, we don't want that guy. Not that guy. So they're going to take Graham Platner out of the race. And I'm not defending the man. He's a trash human being. That's just that. They're going to take him out of the race, and they're going to replace him with somebody of their choosing. So everybody who's like, oh, Maine's locked up for the Republicans. Susan Collins, she outperforms the polls. She's going to be just fine in Maine. Graham Platner, are you kidding me? It's like they didn't even want to win in Maine. I think that the Democrats have a long game here. They knew Graham Platner could win. They knew Graham Platner would get the crazy leftist, anti-Trump, socialist vote who votes in primaries. They knew he'd get that. And then he withdraws. And then they put somebody in that they choose who's a little bit more moderate. This is going to be a wild ride, and Maine is not locked up for the Republicans. But the Democrats, once again, are going to put somebody in, install somebody in. Bernie Sanders should be pretty miffed about this, even though he has been somebody who has been a huge supporter of Graham Platner. Here recently, today, in the last couple hours, has reached out to Platner and said, you're going to need to step down for the good of the party. You're going to need to step out of this race. So that's about to happen. Bernie Sanders was kept from the nomination, and Hillary Clinton was given that responsibility. Joe Biden installed into the, remember Joe Biden had no shot in a frozen over Hades. And then multiple people stepped out of the race, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, they all rallied around Joe Biden. He won, what, South Carolina?
It was.
And then he just won all the other ones. Why Joe Biden? Because they picked him. That's who the party picked. Why Joe Biden? My opinion is because he was the most likely to be puppeted by these people who pick things instead of, allowing the voters to have their say in elections. You want to talk about a threat to democracy? The structure of the Democrat Party is the greatest threat to democracy that we have in this country right now. They picked Joe Biden, they installed Joe Biden, and then when he turns out to be, shockingly, Joe Biden, they pull him out of the presidential race and they pick Kamala Harris. Why? The only explanation, the only common sense explanation to any of that is that she too would be puppetable. That the deep state of, I don't know if it's deep state as much as it is just the Democrat Party, could tell her what to do and she would just nod her head in affirmation. Graham Platner, stooge in Maine, pulled out of the race. Now they install yet another person. Folks, the call is coming from inside the House. The threat to democracy is within your own party. And it's very, very obvious. Did you look at his mustache?
No, I just keep looking at the words Graham Platner and seeing if it means anything.
Is she pretty?
No.
Well, I want everybody to Google a picture of Graham Platner right now, and somebody needs to explain to me his mustache. I don't understand it. The YouTube poll for today, which political party is corrupt? Neither, both, Republican or Democrat. Simple as that. Do you actually think these parties, one of them, is corrupt? Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote. When we come back, Joe Concha is going to react to what the heck they're doing in Maine with Graham Platner and what happens next. Our friend, Fox News contributor Joe Concha here on the Annie Frey Show coming up next. So go vote in the poll and text us your X's and Y's questions. We want good ones at 314-241-9797. Joe Concha next.
You know all the love me and I sing like a sad bird.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. I'm with Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage. And if you're thinking about refinancing, he has some great advice.
Mark, this is a great time to refinance. If you financed over the last 3 years, you're probably paying a higher rate. Take advantage now. Refinance with the Bagel loan. No closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, nothing. Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. For those of you folks that are waiting on the sideline saying, hey, maybe the rates will go down more, I'm going to wait. Take advantage now. A bird in the hand's better than two in the bush. Refinance. Get the cash out you need. Get a lower rate. Maybe even go from a 30 to a 20 year and keep that payment the same, all with the Bagel loan.
And this is a quick process, right?
We close in 10 days. We send a notary out to your house to close so you don't have to take off any time from work. It's easy. It's simple. Bing, bam, boom. Your home is the biggest investment you're going to make in your life. Deal with somebody local, somebody has a reputation, somebody has accountability. I'm here in town. You can call me or text me after hours, weekends, whenever it's convenient for you.
Call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440 or Google the Bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholz of Kaufman Townsley. And here's one of our clients.
We always felt that they were an extension of our family and truly cared about what happened and not just about compensation.
Injured? Call 314-777-7777.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BiobalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BiobalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
You know, Joe.
I don't know nothing.
What you know, Joe?
Tell me something.
What you know, Joe?
Ain't conniving, just ain't jiving. I don't know.
What you know, Joe?
Well, I don't know Latin.
What you know, Joe?
Ain't hi-hatting.
What you know, Joe?
I ain't fooling, I need schooling. I don't know. I don't know. Mama tried to tell me so. Papa wouldn't let me go.
Who stood by him through other allegations are now rapidly abandoning him, many of them saying it's time for him to end his campaign. Alexis McAdams is joining us live with all of the fallout from this as that fallout grows by the minute. Alexis, this is just a drip, drip, drip when it comes to Graham Platner.
Bill, that's right. We talked about it the other day. First the Nazi tattoo, then the allegations of physical abuse. That wasn't enough for Congressman Ro Khanna, and it still doesn't look like it's enough for Senator Bernie Sanders. We're waiting to see if he pulls his endorsement. Calls for Graham Platner, though, are growing for him to drop. Even the mayor of New York City just a short time ago, Bill, says this guy has to go after a woman who dated Platner, her name is Jenny Rakicot, accused him of raping her back in 2021. She told CNN he forced himself on her despite her telling him to stop.
Did Graham Platner rape you?
By definition, yes.
By definition, yes. That is just a wild revelation that I heard going into the primary. It was like a week before the primary happened, and all of the scuttlebutt from people who kind of peddle in rumors were like, there is way worse stuff about to come out for allegations toward Graham Platner, and it's going to come out after the primary once he's actually won this thing. And everybody was saying then he's going to win, he's going to pull his name out, they're going to appoint somebody. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes if the Republicans were dealing with something like this. People are going to associate Graham Platner with Donald Trump and say all of these accusations, all of these allegations against the man, and the Democrats are going to try to stand on ceremony and say, we pulled out of that. The Republicans didn't.
I don't know.
They're going to try to put the feather in their cap because of Graham Platner.
Yeah, but this guy had a rap sheet a mile long when they voted for him. And so I'm not sure why this latest allegation is the one that's going to break everything. I mean, you can really just kind of add it to the heap, and it would just melt right into all the rest of it if you didn't pay attention to it. But I think you're right. It's the party apparatus that really didn't care much about these allegations. They cared, could he win? Because if he could win, they just brush this aside just like all the rest of them. But they only care about it because, it might damage his chances of winning. They don't really care about him as a person. So now, let's grab this and say that we do care, even though they didn't care about all the others. Now they do, because he has a very good chance of losing that race.
Well, Bernie Sanders, senator from Vermont, who is one of his greatest champions, has called on the Senate hopeful to exit the race today after Jenny Rakicot, 41 years old, has officially publicly accused him of rape. It's a wild ride, folks. Let's get to talk to our friend Joe Concha, Fox News contributor and author of the book The Greatest Comeback Ever, Inside Trump's Big Beautiful Campaign. A great read on the beach this summer when you want to reminisce. Joe, welcome back to the show. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you. It's a slow news day. What do you want to talk about?
Slow news day. Crumbling buildings in New York. This Graham Platner story is shocking, not shocking to me. I mean, it's not like he was looking like the golden retriever family standing in the middle of the wheat field with the John Deere in the background. That's what we do in Southern Illinois. Why are people surprised that these allegations are coming out, and why is this now the bridge too far for Democrats?
Oh, because internal polling says it is. Right. I don't want to hear about morality.
Yeah.
And they have a problem with this. This is the red line. The Nazi tattoo wasn't the red line. The other accused ex-girlfriends of Graham Platner, several of them, saying that this guy left marks on them, nearly pulled, their arms out of their socket. One said that she was locked in a bedroom like that movie The Housemaid with Sidney Sweeney, locked in and wasn't allowed out until the next day. All right. So obviously between that, the fact that this guy has said that black guys don't tip, says that, oh, by the way, that person in the Taliban, the Purple Heart recipient, Terry Daniels, who actually took 4 bullets from the Taliban, that stupor Emmer Effer deserved to die, says that women need to be more adult if they want to avoid rape. The guy who embraces communism, who wants to defund border security, wants to abolish ICE, says that we should embrace communism more. That guy, now this is the bridge too far? No, it's because in 6 days he has to get out in order to get another candidate in, or else they're stuck with him. And they see the polling going completely backwards, where you had Susan Collins leading by, you had Graham Platner leading by like 12 to 14 points just, about a month ago. And now Susan Collins is leading in most polls. So they see that. And just like they did with Joe Biden, they said, all right, we want a do-over. So then suddenly somebody comes out of the woodwork. And I'm not saying she is incredible, but the timing is just impeccable here, like it was with Swalwell.
Yep.
And we got to get him out. So there's a lot of moving parts here. But in the end, I don't want to hear about the Democrat Party ever trying to take the high moral stand when it comes to believe all women ever again, because it's such BS.
They're going to spin this, Joe, and say, because the accusations being made against Graham Platner are similar to accusations that have been made against the president. And they're going to say that they took the high ground. They didn't stand by their guy. They made the decision. They're going to use Graham Platner as a moral jumping point to try to market that for their own benefit, and I'm going to be throwing up in my mouth the entire time.
Yeah, except for the whole, they ignored the Nazi thing. That should have been it. Like anybody, any Republican, imagine this, like a young Ted Cruz running for Senate in Texas. They find that he had a Nazi tattoo for 20 years. You think anybody, especially the media, would have stood for that? No, of course not.
Yeah, that makes me
so
shudder.
That would have been the end of it.
So
I know. It's just, again, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, who are they going to pick? Do you have an idea of who's is there an obvious pick for Maine to put in that position? If Graham Platner voluntarily resigns before next Monday, then the Democrats in Maine get to pick the next person, just handpick. That's what they do. Who are they going to choose?
I don't know Maine politics too well, to be quite honest with you. So it's not like a name that you or I would know. But I think in the end, the whole thought process is that, vote blue no matter who. But I'm sorry, unless it's some sort of socialist that says the same things that Platner's been saying around the government should run all health care, right? And again, all the things I talked about around abolishing ICE, expanding the Supreme Court, impeaching Supreme Court justices, Alito and Thomas, shutting down the government again just to hurt Trump, all these crazy things that Platner has said. Forget his personal picadillos. But in the end, there's a guy named Troy Jackson, who's the former president of the state Senate. He said that, okay, I'm ready to go if you want me. Janet Mills is the current governor. She's something 112 years old, but fine. I guess they can put her in there. But in the end, once this happens, and if Collins, let's put it this way about Susan Collins. I get that a lot of people out there say she's a rhino. But as far as Maine, she's as good as you're going to get in a state like that, right? A state that Kamala won by, I think, 5 points. So, and plus she's not insane, which always helps, right? And never misses a vote. And I get that she votes against Trump sometimes, but it's not like she's in Alabama and can just vote yes with him all the time. Sorry, I'm just trying to share some common sense here. I think in the end, if you look at her last 3 races, she has won by 9 points, right? Then by 23 points. I'm sorry, backwards. 30 points, 23 points, 9 points when she was
at least in 2 of those races, people thought that she was vulnerable. So I think if you go to Plan B at this point, given how shattered the brand is in Maine as far as all these Democrats, especially, and not so much in Maine, but Ro Khanna, for example, the most annoying person in Congress, who said, the red line is if there was violence against these women. Well, wasn't he abusive? Yeah, but was there real violence? No. How about the neo-Nazi tattoo? Well, he was young and didn't know what he was doing. No, he wasn't young. He was, this is post-military life. He's very much an adult, and he kept the thing for 20 years knowing full well what it was. So I think Democrats are so hurt by this. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Chris Coons, Chris Murphy, all these people that said we have to support them because we have to win back the Senate, they showed their true colors. It's all about power and nothing more.
Yeah, it's about, can I win? And if we decide at this point we can't, then they move the goalpost. Joe Concha speaking with us right now, author, Fox News contributor on X at Joe Concha TV. I want to shift gears real quick before we have to let you go and talk about the World Cup. The USA got spanked last night, but I think that if before all this started, you'd find out that the Team USA was going to be playing in the round of 16. I'm not a soccer guy, Joe. I just think that people would have been pretty excited to hear that they made it that far. What's your overall assessment of Team USA, but ultimately the United States being the host of this event, which isn't, it's not our main sport. Seems like it's been going pretty well.
It's been going awesome, right? Every stadium is completely sold out. You see all the watch parties across the country. Obviously, Europeans are just thrilled to be here, the way they talk about the United States. And you see report after report. We heard in the media that this was a scary place with violence and it's run by fascists and all these things. Are like, this is an awesome country. I don't want to leave. So that's been very good from a PR standpoint, I suppose. As far as the U.S. team, they didn't play anybody to this point. I mean, of anybody of real significance, right? When you beat Paraguay, okay, great. When you beat Australia, if that was rugby, I'd be impressed. Then they lost to Turkey or whatever they're being called these days. That was kind of a throwaway game. And then they beat Bosnia. All right. Again, these are not big names. And then they played like kind of a real team in Belgium. And you saw what happened, right? They're not ready for prime time, and they would have been spanked against a team like Spain that I do know. But overall, every game's been great. The ratings have been off the charts completely. And while soccer isn't our game, it increasingly is becoming our game. And what can I say? It's been really a pleasure to watch. And right now, Argentina is actually losing. Lionel Messi 1-0 to Egypt. Messi missed a penalty kick. I mean, it's insanity. So we'll see. Plenty of time to go. But we need Messi in this because my kids will be devastated that I do that.
Well, for the Concha kids, go Messi.
Exactly.
Do you think that this is a good launch point for the 2028 Summer Olympics? I really feel like we get to do this again, maybe if we want to, in a couple of years here for the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles.
I think it's great for Trump, certainly. I mean, think of all the things he's getting here, like, USA 250, right? And Egypt just scored again, by the way. I hate to get play-by-play in this stuff, but now it's 2-0, and Argentina's going to be finished. Anyway, so it's funny because my wife was rooting for Portugal strictly because she thought that was the hottest guy team.
Yes. There you go, Mrs. Concha.
Yeah. But they can't take their shirt off more when they score. I'm like, all right, look, I'll get to the gym, okay, honey? But yeah, about 2028. Trump gets like USA 250, right? Then he gets the World Cup at the same time. Then he gets the Olympics. Like all these awesome things for a politician. I think it shows we're ready. Clearly, it's going to be in Los Angeles. That's Newsom. So maybe that could be a little problematic, I suppose. But yeah, we're the best host country, no question. At least we don't have to watch games at 3:00 in the morning instead of this thing was held in Tokyo or something, right?
Yeah, I think it's an A+ for the United States, and good on the soccer team for making it as far as they did. It sounds like they maybe outperformed the expectations, but didn't take it all the way home. Nobody thought that was going to happen, except for that one commercial. No. I like that commercial. Joe, thank you for being with us today. It's always good to talk to you. Come back soon.
All right. Thanks, Eddie. Take care.
You as well. Bye-bye. Joe Concha, the book that you have to read, The Greatest Comeback Ever, Inside Trump's Big Beautiful Campaign. That book is, it's just like it's a walkthrough of the Trump campaign. And it's a situation where you start at the beginning of Donald Trump's push back into running for re-election, and you just go through the day-to-day, the step-by-step, and you'll be like, I remember this, but I can't believe that this is everything that happened, and he still won. It's incredible. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Oh, what you know, Joe?
I don't know nothing.
What you know, Joe?
Tell me something.
What you know, Joe?
Ain't conniving, just ain't jiving. I don't know.
What you know, Joe?
Corey from Air Comfort Service. Why are you standing next to my AC?
I'm standing behind our work.
But it's 8 p.m. You're just going to stand behind my air conditioner?
Yeah, pretty much.
Could you turn off the sprinkler then?
Absolutely. At Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation, we take pride in our work. If you need a new air conditioner or HVAC system, you can trust we'll install the equipment correctly. Plus, for a limited time, qualify for rebates up to $2,600 and 0% financing for up to 72 months. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Hi, I'm Eric. And I'm Howard. We're the pain guys of Canner and Pintaluga. You already know after an accident to call 911 and then 411. 1-800-411-PAIN.
But you may not know behind the number is an experienced law firm with nearly 100 attorneys working hard for our clients.
Call the pain guys at 1-800-411-PAIN.
Law offices of Canner and Pintaluga, Kyle Conhauser, Esquire. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Offices throughout the U.S. Not all lawyers licensed in all jurisdictions.
Men. Need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
You know Zero Res, the zero residue carpet cleaner that leaves your carpets truly clean with no dirt attracting soaps or harsh chemicals. Don't risk it with the other guys and skip the DIY disasters that leave your carpet soaked for days. This month, get 3 rooms of carpet Zero Resified starting at just $129. Call 314-474-2020 or visit ZeroResSTL.com and ask for the 97.1 special.
The question we're asking you today is, which political party is corrupt? Your options are neither, both, Republican, or Democrat. I want to talk to you if you vote neither in this.
I'm looking at the results on the poll so far. Neither's not doing so hot.
No?
No.
Does it have any votes?
It does say 1%. So
I want to talk to you. And you can text us, 314-241-9797. You can text us about this question regardless of how you're answering it. We'd like to hear from you. Or you can log on to the YouTube stream and watch the show live there. Hello, and vote and leave a comment. It is 12:36. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. Where common sense rules the mic. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Yellow diamonds in the light, and we're standing side by side as your shadow crosses mine. What it takes to come alive. It's the way I'm feeling, I just can't deny. But I gotta let it go.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's Tuesday, July 7th. We're excited to be with you. Hopefully, you are still feeling all sorts of patriotic, red, white, and blue. I really was, when I was taking in stuff that was happening this weekend for the 4th of July, I'm like, this better not be it. Why would this celebration not last? It should last for a year. Mm-hmm. And then I tweeted at the White House as if that's going to make a difference. And they need to have like an all-American Christmas festival or holiday festival. I don't care if it's a holiday festival in Washington, D.C., where they do kind of what they're doing right now, but have a festival of the holidays in D.C. and bring people back down to celebrate things once again. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, you're supposed to celebrate the America 250 for the whole year. I think that's what they did in the bicentennial. They would commemorate the coin for the year.
Do you remember?
So I wasn't around because I'm not that old.
Are you?
I think you're implying that I am old.
All I'm saying is you look great for your age.
I agree with that, but I'm not as old as you think I am, so I think your premise is off.
I think a festival of the holidays would be fun. Could you do festival of holidays? I mean, you'd have to. You'd want to include Hanukkah and stuff like that. It couldn't just be Christmas.
You could just do Christmas.
You could?
You could.
Is that institutionalized religion?
I don't know. Ask Target. They started doing just Christmas, sort of.
No, it's still Hanukkah stuff.
Yeah, but they put up Christmas decorations.
Yeah, Christmas decorations in and of themselves are not religious, but the impetus for Christmas is inherently religious.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with doing some of these other things. Isn't there like a Satan holiday for Christmas?
I'm not sure because I don't.
Is it Krampus or Krampus? Or
Krampus
Crumpy
is the
Crampy McCrumperson?
No. Krampus is the Santa Claus scary version that is supposed to haunt kids.
It's not devilly?
Well, it is, but I don't think that's some sort of celebration of Satanism for Christmas.
Well, the way I was raised is if it's not celebrating Jesus, it's celebrating Satan.
How do you celebrate the 31st of October?
As All Hallows Eve, the day before All Saints Day.
Okay.
And more specifically, the day Martin Luther nailed the 95 Theses on the wall, if you want to really ask a Lutheran.
Do you trick or treat in honor of Luther?
As a monk.
Only?
That's a lie, and I apologize. It's not true. Although this year it could be. Which political party is corrupt is the YouTube poll. And we want your votes at the Annie Frey YouTube channel. And also your text messages at 314-241-9797 if you so choose to participate there, if you want to weigh in. You seem like you got a feeling about this one. Is it both? Or is it you picking one party?
I have a weirdly strong opinion about this.
I noticed.
Because the obvious answer and the knee-jerk answer that I was going to give is both. Because you can find corruption no matter where there's power in both parties, for sure.
Finding corruption within a party and the party in and of itself being corrupt, I don't know if that's splitting hairs, but I feel like there's a difference.
There is a difference.
Corrupt people can participate in anything at any time, but is the structure, the foundational structure, corrupt at its core?
That's actually not even the direction I was going. I would say both is the knee-jerk reaction. Of course, there's corruption. Yeah, everybody's corrupt. Okay,
I thought that the knee-jerk reaction on this show would obviously be the Democrat Party.
No, it's maybe, but not for me.
Okay.
For me, I had to then start thinking about, okay, I want to see signs of corruption, not from individuals, but from systems, kind of like what you're saying. And when I start to think about systemic corruption, I start to look at right now states and the amount of fraud that is being not just run through states, because that will happen in red states too. The amount of fraud that is being covered up in blue states and is allowed to fester maybe part of the system.
I was just going to say, and you clarified that before I almost interrupted you there, but it's not festering. It's the system.
Yeah.
That's the function. How does Minnesota function if the fraud apparatus is pulled out? Does it? Do Democrats continue to top to bottom? I mean, Minnesota's a little bit of a different situation than Illinois because Democrats are in control everywhere, but not as much. Like the extent of the majority is not as significant as it is in Illinois. In Minnesota is ground zero for the fraud that's being exposed. I don't know why we're dragging our feet on trying to expose it in Illinois. It would be Christmas morning for me if Illinois was getting the Minnesota treatment with investigation. Why is that not happening?
I don't know. And we're in the midst of an election too. So it's not as if they're like, oh, well, let's stay away because it's election season. That's happening in Minnesota. I can't find a reason why they would not do that here.
Deep-seated tinfoil hat theory for me is that Barack Obama is involved in Illinois.
Yeah, but the people in charge of rooting out fraud don't have any allegiance to Obama.
No, they wouldn't necessarily. But if you're investigating things there, that the investigations might be deeper or broader or bigger or more protected because a former president is involved.
Okay.
So I just think that his adjacency to whatever's going on in Illinois. I mean, don't forget, folks, that the reason why Rod Blagojevich was put in jail had to do with the appointing of a Senate seat, and that whole conversation involves Barack Obama. So, I mean, you want to talk about corruption? I mean, which political party is corrupt? I think we could spend the show talking about why we believe that the Democrat Party is corrupt. And I absolutely believe the Democrat Party is corrupt. I think the challenge in the question here today, like you pointed out, Ryan, is the answer to this question, for me, which political party is corrupt, Democrat, or is it both? So a little self-reflection, is the Republican Party corrupt?
Let me add one more point to this overall argument that we're making here. When it comes to fundraising, right now, you have two major websites that are part of each party. One of them is Act Blue. The other one is it called Vote Red or something red? But they're similar ideas, and one of them's obviously Republican.
Win Red.
Win Red. That's it. These are the major website apparatuses that fundraise for the parties. One of those is under serious long-term investigation for multiple areas of corruption. And you can guess which one it is. It is Act Blue. And it is a huge problem where all their lawyers left. People are running from the hills from Act Blue because they know, we're in trouble. And that's the kind of stuff that you point to go, well, what system is corrupt? And if you got real life examples like that you can point to definitively and say that's happening right now, then you'd have to say right now, objectively, Democrats have a lot more corruption to deal with, and it's part of their system.
So in that instance, it's a relative vote, but still the question, that's a really good point as far as like the foundational corruption of any political party is always going to come from money.
Yes.
Where does the money come from? Where does the money go? How is the money used? You've convinced me, Ryan, that the Democrat Party is corrupt.
Well, I'm not done.
Good, because we got 2 hours and 15 minutes of time to fill. I think the question, in order for me to answer this in a poll and say Democrat Party is corrupt or both parties are corrupt, is a reflection like we were talking about. Is the Republican Party corrupt? You ready for Wiggins America?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
No, I never am.
Do you know the topic?
Signs you're aging at an early age.
No. Gosh, Ethan.
Is that not right?
It's signs you're aging well. I don't know why he put at an early age.
I think he's trying to make you look bad.
I think he is too.
How many out of 5 days a week, how many days a week do I read that on the air?
Maybe one or two.
Less than one.
Yeah.
Less than one. Good job, Ethan. High five. We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Call 314-271-9900. 314-271-9900. Get that basement waterproof. Stop worrying about the forecast, the rain, how much is going to be outside, and how much of it is going to make its way into your house. You've got a guy in Matt Hayes and an incredible crew who is going to get this problem solved for you with a lifetime warranty so you don't ever have to worry about it again. There's a lot of peace of mind that comes with choosing the right business, one that you can trust, and Home Shield Foundation Repair is working hard to earn that respect from you. So it all starts with a phone call and, no commitment, no obligation to have him come look at your basement and tell you what kind of service you need to get that thing waterproofed once and for all. 314-271-9900 is the number to call, and they do a whole host of foundation repairs. So if it's not just basement waterproofing that you need, if you need piering services because you've noticed a crack in your foundation or some shifting in the ground, even leveling out the concrete in your home, Home Shield Foundation Repair is ready to take your call. 314-271-9900, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
This is Jimmy Fallon from Fox Across America. One reason you should support America 250 is our country's now the same age as Nancy Pelosi. Happy birthday, America 250, you fine thing, you.
America 250 is sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Bill, that's a big smile for an old politician.
I'm thinking about our plan. It's slick enough to make a lobbyist blush. First, we hoodwink voters with Amendment 5. Tell them it's a tax cut. Once they're hooked, we decide who pays the higher taxes.
So it's not a tax cut plan, and we don't get a say?
Right, just swaps who pays the tax, but it does remove 3 voter-passed taxpayer constitutional protections. That lets us levy new taxes on services, increase sales taxes, and even tax home sales, and voters will no longer get to vote on tax hikes.
Higher sales taxes on groceries, gas, service taxes on doctor visits, childcare, and even rent on apartments. Jeez. Taxes could exceed 20%.
Sure, they figure that up to 80% of taxpayers will pay more taxes. Many, hundreds more. Seniors, they'll get hit even harder, but our big donors will cut a fat hog.
The ones getting butchered by Amendment 5 are most taxpayers. I'm voting no on 5.
Paid for by Missourians for fair taxation.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
You could totally do this background sound.
Which one?
The duck. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That
I used to
doesn't
play
sound
this
good at all.
song on my Saturday night show.
Why? Oh, because Saturday night. Because they say the word Saturday night.
I'll explain it to you later. We'll get a calendar out.
When is this song from?
I'm gonna guess 92.
I was gonna say it does not sound recent.
No, it's way old. Saturday night. It's a good song. Do you remember it?
No.
You don't remember this?
I did not listen to early 90s pop at all. I was a grunge guy.
This is amazing.
I was also like 11.
Yeah. Well, the music was still good. All right, Wiggins America here on the Annie Frey Show. Signs you're aging at an early age.
Wiggins! Wiggins! That's such a stupid title. It's not the title of this.
I was going to hardcore judge you about the way that was worded, and then you were like, what the heck?
That's not written right. I don't think he did that on purpose.
I think he was moving fast.
Signs you're aging well is the topic here. And I will say, based on the false title there, Signs You're Aging at an Early Age, this article is written to people who are older than us. So we are both in our early 40s.
It's just, this whole thing, this is just a ruse to try to define your age to people who are listening on the radio and haven't seen how old you really
That is
look.
possible. But I will say that one of the reasons that I love this article is that it's definitely written for people older than us.
Okay.
So we are going to pass with flying colors.
This is just to feel good about
It's
ourselves.
a feel-good article.
Song is Saturday Night by Wigfield, 1995.
Wigfield, I like that name. The first one, subtle signs that you're aging well. Number 1, you maintain physical strength and mobility.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to move.
It's very... plus. You joke, but you've got to have experienced that wasn't as easy for my body, or where's the ibuprofen?
So almost a week ago now, not quite, 5 days, I stained some wood. And I was outside, and because you can't use stain inside, or at least you're not supposed to.
You can for a good time.
I was staining quite a bit. And so I was outside, and I was squatting down to do it on the ground.
And then you stained?
And then I stood, and I have not been able to stand right since then. That was 5 days ago.
It hits you when you're 60.
The problem is that I did not squat for that long.
Oh, no.
And I'm still feeling it.
I think the thing for aging people, I think stretching is so important. You have to stretch.
That's what I always tell old people when I see them.
You stretch today? You're looking a little tight.
Hey, might want to consider stretching before you pick out your avocados there, because it's in a grocery store where I'm doing this, Annie.
Okay.
Next one is subtle
James,
signs.
will you keep this on track?
You're aging well. You're curious, and you have sharp cognitive function. 2 for 2. How about you?
I don't know. You be the judge. You pretty much are.
Yeah, I'd say you're doing okay.
Showing a little signs.
Like your cognitive function is fine. I feel like you could be a little more curious about the world and childlike.
Okay.
Next one.
Fortunately, we don't have a lot of time. Onward.
This segment always goes so well, doesn't it? Next one. You're emotionally resilient and have a positive outlook.
Yeah.
That could be true of really any age.
Is this your tango?
No.
What is it? What's the source on this here scientific document?
Very different site than Real Tango. Real Simple.
What's the one? You're
emotionally resilient and you have a positive outlook.
It's a positive sign of aging.
It's a sign that you're aging well. Next
well.
one, subtle signs you're aging well. You have strong social connections. I would say this one actually is very important. You have to be a part of something as you get older.
There's a weird shift that takes place, and I'm getting a lot of internet algorithm stuff on this about the transition away from having to be kid focused all the time. And you know, obviously having a lot of people have to reconnect with their spouse, but also your friends in many cases have very much so surrounded the activities that your mutual kid activities happen to be. So you kind of have to redetermine, what are you going to do for you now? Because if you don't do anything, then nothing happens.
Yeah, I'm trying to ask that question all the time now. What is in this for me? Last one. Signs that
if I don't laugh at that and leave it as just like an ironic statement, it's funnier. And then I think about that, and then it makes me laugh. And then I give in. That's a bummer.
It's a meta joke.
I want someone listening right now to be like, well, that was egotistical.
Was he serious? Oh, gee whiz. Boy, does he look good. I look tan on the stream there. I can
you
tell.
Please?
Anyway, you're passionate. Last one. You're passionate about your hobbies. I would say this actually is very important. Like you said, if you're an empty nester, you're getting older, you got to have something that you're passionate about that pushes you forward.
Realistically, what hobby do you think you will participate in the most when you're a retired Ryan Wiggins?
Probably writing, because that's what I try to make time to do now.
What are you going to write?
I don't know. Letters to friends. No, I like writing books. I like writing scripts. And wherever I can sell those things, I'll do it.
Have you ever thought about when you're old and when I'm old, like, will we still talk to each other?
But
like,
it'll
what
be
is
like,
it gonna...
remember when Graham Platner wouldn't drop out of the race?
I just think it's kind of weird to think about you being an old man, but you probably think it's weird to think about me being an old lady.
I don't think about it at all.
I think about
because
it.
You tell me I'm old every day. I'm already there.
James says break. We'll be right back with Jim Carafano.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a break.
Good idea.
Hey, Tom, what are you doing on that Amendment 4?
You know we fought for our freedom and rights. I'm not giving them away without a fight.
4 takes them?
That's exactly what 4 does. For over 100 years, Missouri voters have used our constitutional power to act when the politicians refused. I'll be darned if I'm voting to pass on less freedom and power to my kids.
And doesn't 4 kill majority rule?
Yep, creates minority rule, where just 5% of statewide voters in one district can block any citizen-led reform, making it nearly impossible to pass citizen-led ballot measures.
That's just dumb.
And when the politicians refuse to act, we've used citizen-led ballot measures to pass some big stuff, like lobbyist reforms, term limits for career politicians, and outlawing tax hikes without voter approval.
I'm not surrendering my power and rights to a bunch of politicians and lobbyists. I've no on Amendment 4.
Hard no on 4.
Pay 4 buttons or inch per pair governance.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-887-4333. 314-887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy weight gain or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. An Odyssey station.
An unstable building in New York City. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
This is an extremely serious situation.
New York Mayor Zoran Mamdani after fire officials responding to reports of bricks falling on the east side of Midtown Manhattan found support columns buckling in a high-rise that's under renovation.
And that's when crews immediately evacuated the building that is being converted from a former office space into a residential apartment building. Thankfully, all those workers are safe. Fire officials say the buckled support columns caused floors between the 21st and 26th stories to sag, and authorities quickly cleared out several nearby buildings, including a hotel and a school.
Fox's CB Cotton near the scene, where engineers are investigating what caused the columns to buckle with a frozen zone in place until they can determine it's structurally sound. Pushback from the defense as prosecutors try to convince a Utah judge there is probable cause to put Tyler Robinson on trial for Charlie Kirk's murder.
Isn't it fair to say that as of the moment that Tyler Robinson voluntarily surrendered to authorities in Washington County, as of that moment, you all did not know who the shooter was? Is that right?
We had identified a person of interest, but we did not specifically know who the shooter was.
State Bureau of Investigation agent David Hull answering lead defense attorney Catherine Nestor on day 2 of her preliminary hearing expected to last all week. No word yet today from Graham Platner, the Senate candidate in Maine, facing growing calls from fellow Democrats to step aside after a rape allegation he denies. At the World Cup, Argentina's Lionel Messi scoring his 8th goal of the tournament, leveling the match with Egypt at 2 goals apiece before Argentina scored again in stoppage time. Still tied. America is 3-2 now the score. America is listening to Fox News.
Of all the wireless companies in America, only one has 5 stars in every category from Consumer Reports, and that company is Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. Plus, no service contracts and no cancellation fees. Just phenomenal U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
It's a good-looking Tuesday afternoon, comfortable humidity, and pretty easy to take temperatures thanks to a north to northwest flow. Partly to mostly sunny and 87. Nice evening tonight. Clear skies, 69 for the overnight low. Wednesday, sunny and 88. Thursday, 93. Got showers and thunderstorms in here Thursday night, especially late Thursday night, Friday into Friday night. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If your air conditioner needs service anytime, day or night, Air Comfort Service has almost 60 years of experience and is family-owned and operated right here in St. Louis. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Rain.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
I can tell you, we're going to be taking the sanctions off. Okay? I don't want him to waste his time answering that question because we're working very closely with Marco Rubio, a very famous man, great Secretary of State, and with Scott Bessent and with Pete and everybody else. We're going to be taking the sanctions off. It's time to do that.
So President Trump right now at a NATO meeting, and that was from earlier this morning, and he was talking about removing those sanctions from Turkey. That was the question that was asked there. And the president kind of stepped in and was like, I'll answer that question. He doesn't need to waste his time. I'll answer that question, saying that those sanctions would be removed from Turkey shortly. What is NATO all about right now? What is the United States relationship like with NATO? I think that with all of the different conflicts taking place around the world, President Trump sure does seem to be resetting the table with each partnership, relationship, alliance that we have. How is NATO in relationship to the United States today? Let's ask our friend Jim Carafano, who joins us once again, Senior Counselor to the President and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. Jim, happy Independence Day. We're going to keep celebrating it here on the Annie Frey Show for a while and wanted to welcome you with those warm wishes.
Wow, that's very kind. So I want to answer your question in terms everyone can understand. Marriage, not your marriage, because Annie Frey has the perfect marriage and the perfect spouse. So this would never happen in her relationship. But in the rest of us, it's like the spouse who argues about something long after it's over. Like, we shouldn't have gone to see that movie, and the movie ended yesterday, you know? The NATO argument is over, and we all love to argue about this. Because because we're told we should be arguing about this, because we're told this is a make or break summit, that this is a high stakes summit, that America's leaving Europe. None of this is true. We're not leaving Europe. If Trump really wanted to leave Europe, we would have left the day he came into office. This is a very decisive guy, and if Trump wanted to blow up the NATO summit, all he had to do was to not go to the summit. Mm-hmm. So, and we have today a stronger deterrent footprint against Russia than relative to with the Russians today than we had during the Cold War when I was in the Army in the 1980s. We have every prospect of continued investment in a strong defense. Donald Trump achieved all that. We also talk about it. We whine about it. We yell at each other. But the answer is the pie's cooked out of the oven. We already ate it, and now we're arguing over what flavor the pie should be. So I can't think of a less newsworthy debate than are we going to leave NATO? No. Are we going to abandon NATO? No. Are the Europeans going to have to do more in their own defense? Yes. Are they doing more in their own defense? Yes. Are we going to deter the Russians? Absolutely. Is there still going to be Ukraine 10 years from now? You bet. So I'm not really sure, what we're arguing about, but, So here's the thing, and I share this, and because this is stuff you don't hear, right? The closer you get away from people like us, and not you and I, but the chattering and the breathless news coverage and the pundits and the prime ministers all saying their thing and whatever, and all, and to the people who actually run NATO day to day and actually do this stuff, they're fine. They've got more money than they ever had. They've got more stuff than they ever had. Absolutely, the alliance is transforming, and the forward deployed component in Europe is going to be much more European heavy. We would have more success trying to argue, that America should have won the game against Belgium than they are about this thing.
We're speaking with Jim Carafano here with the Heritage Foundation. I mean, you've mentioned Russia. Every once in a while, President Trump speaking to the press, he does that all the time, and the Russia-Ukraine conflict comes back up. I mean, that was the topic du jour for a very long time, the number one headline, but there's so much going on right now in the world that it gets brought up every once in a while, and he's alluded to the fact that maybe this thing is potentially moving towards a conclusion, but I'm not holding my breath for any of that. What is the state of the war between Russia and Ukraine right now?
Well, I mean, the war is over. I mean, it hasn't ended, but if you think of like in Gettysburg in the Civil War, or the Allies crossing the Rhine in World War II, or the Battle of Midway in the Pacific, there's a point where literally it is impossible for the enemy to win, and in military terms, they call it the culminating point. It is impossible for the Russians to win. There's just no. Every day the Russians get weaker and the Ukrainians get more capable. I mean, they're never going to conquer Ukraine. It's never going to happen. Now, also, Ukraine's never going to invade Russia and conquer Russia, right? So the war's going to end when Putin quits, but he can never win. So the war is essentially over. And what I like to remind my friends who hate Donald Trump, he's Putin's buddy, he's going to give away, he's going to throw Ukraine under the bus, he's going to throw the Europeans under the bus. The reality is all this happened, this irreversible victory by Ukraine. It all happened on Trump's watch. Mm-hmm. Ukraine has never been more successful than the 2 years since Donald Trump has been in office. Now, a lot of that's because Trump has, unlike Biden, never complained or restricted the Ukrainians from shooting deep into Russian territory and tackling the targets that are crippling the Russian military and economy. But the reality is Donald Trump's leadership has won this war. Now, don't get me wrong, the Ukrainians did all the fighting and they've been great, but Donald Trump managed this thing so we are at the point where it's impossible for the Russians to win. And then people say, well, why isn't Trump tougher on the Russians? Why is he always tougher on our allies? It's because Trump is going to say whatever he needs to get the outcome he wants. So he's tough on allies because they need the tough love, and they can't be beat up enough to get the message like, you guys have got to get stake in the game equal to your size and responsibilities, and I'm going to beat the living butt out of you until you do that. He doesn't do that with the Chinese. He doesn't do that with the Russians. He actually does the opposite. In public, he kind of says, but on the ground, he humiliates them and defeats them at every turn. The Russians have lost, not only are they losing the Ukraine war, they've lost ground in Central Asia, in the South Caucasus, in the Middle East, in Latin America. They've lost ground everywhere in the world, in Africa, everywhere in the world since Trump was president. He has humiliated them right and left. He doesn't have to yell at them. They know. And matter of fact, it's more deeply humiliating because he's not challenging them publicly. Mm-hmm. He's just kicking their butt on the ground and then not saying anything about it in public. And he's like, you know what's really going on here. And the same thing with the Chinese. And you say, well, why isn't he more aggressive in public? But maybe part of the reason is look, you know what our friends don't have that the Europeans do? A lot of nuclear weapons, right? Yeah. So why should I be aggressive rhetorically and really risk, right, escalation when I'm aggressive in the real world where it really matters? I don't have to add on top of that for the other guy to get the point. And so he chooses not to engage with them in the same way. but he's very clearly driving towards outcomes. And the rhetoric is just a tool to help get him there, whether it's with your tough love with your friends or poking your allies under the table like we used to do in grade school to really, anger them up and have them scream so the teacher would yell at them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking about the contrast between, I don't know if it's a red-blue thing. It might just be a Donald Trump and everyone else thing. But generally speaking, it feels like politicians, they get into power and then everything is talk. And the talk is based on the finger, up into the wind to find out which way the direction is going. And it's not so much a matter of taking a political risk to end something. I mean, of course, you culminate in an actual victory, a denuclearization of Iran, or, the ending of this war that Donald Trump will be the first to tell you he didn't start. That's an actual win, a trophy you can put on your shelf. Everybody else seems to say, I'm just going to say what people want to hear today. And that's no way to lead foreign policy.
No, well, that's exactly right. So there are two kinds of Trump whiners in the world, right? One are if Trump's for it, I'm against it. So they hate everything he does. Doesn't matter. It's just politics. And the other are the people who are so smarter than Trump. And it's like, well, that's not what I want. I want the Russians to be publicly humiliated. I want the Iranian regime overthrown. But you're not responsible for lives and countries. And last time I checked, you don't have any armies. And the critique of, well, that's not what I would do, that's metric of success. Yeah. Iran's a perfect example. The Iranian regime says we are victorious if we are still standing. That's their definition of victory. That's like a homeless guy who says, I'm happy as long as I'm homeless. Nobody cares what you want, right? Do you have a nuclear weapon? Can you build a nuclear weapon? No. Can you get your surrogates to attack other countries at your command? No. Do you have armadas of ballistic missiles and drones to threaten your neighbors? No. Can you take 20% of the world's oil off the market? No. Okay, if that's a defeat, then I want to be defeated more often. So you're absolutely right. People argue this stuff, and I don't know. But it has nothing to do with the reality of what's going on the ground. Mm-hmm. People argued that the Yalta peace agreement wasn't good enough in World War II, or that we shouldn't have dropped nuclear weapons on the Japanese. And they can argue this stuff to the blue in the face, but you accomplish the objective, and in doing so, in all those cases, you minimize the loss of the lives of your own people that you put at risk. Isn't that what we really want a president to do?
Yes. We're speaking with Jim Carafano right now. I think that there has been in the past such a reliance on the media to sort of feed the political sides. Okay, this is why we're mad at this person today. This is why we're happy with this person today. And you get your hit and then you go on with your life, but then you got to get up and do it again the next day. And it just seems, as much as this President Trump is in love with the media, at the same time hating the media, he's always there. He just does. It feels as like he's got an end goal, and he will bob and weave and navigate the media come hell or high water to make them say, they have to broadcast, this is why I'm doing this. They don't have a choice. And that seems to be a little bit different than the way other administrations have handled the messenger of the media as well.
The media environment has completely changed. If you go back to Vietnam, for example, where, I would argue even in the 1970s, much of the mainstream media was more liberal than conservative, but they strove to at least put on a face of objectivity and tried to be equally critical of both the right and the left. So when the mainstream media turned en masse against the administration during the Vietnam War, people stood up and took notice, because they're not saying, well, on the one hand, on the other hand, they're saying, we think our government is really screwed up here. Now, whether you agree with that or not, people looked at a relatively objective media and said, "Oh my God, they're picking a side here." But today, all they do is pick sides. You pick a side and then you report, right?
Right.
So when we look at most of this media today, we ignore it, right? Because it's like, Our guys say everything's great. Their guys say everything's wrong. So we just ignore it. What you're right about Donald, what Donald Trump has done is he is often able to even turn an adversarial media to his purpose. So for example, you have the left screaming, "Oh, these Trump accounts are horrible and terrible. This is awful. This is," but what are they? But they're reporting on it. And what do Americans hear? They're like, "Oh my God, I can sign up for Trump again. I get $1,000 for my kid.
Right.
Thank you very much."
Right. That Trump accounts thing, since you brought it up, is going to be an incredible divider of generations in a year or two, or in a decade or two, because people are going to be like, I missed out on that, and it was because my mom hated somebody.
Right.
It's going to be crazy.
Exactly.
Before we go, Jim, I do want to ask you, the coverage of the World Cup, United States hosting it. There's, of course, a ton of social media of people visiting our country from elsewhere. And a lot of them, I'm very open to the idea that these tourists know that Americans will click on watch their videos. So they just keep making them. And I'm like,
Right.
oh, give me another one. So I get the clicks and the views and all that stuff. But there's a consistent message. And it's, I'm very proud of middle America here, where we're sitting right now in St. Louis, Missouri, that
Right.
a lot of the places that these people are visiting, they're understanding America through their own eyes and their own touch versus a media presentation that's been fed to them.
Right.
Is that real? And does it
Yes,
does it
absolutely, totally.
matter?
Yes, it really does. And we want more tourists. We just want them to go home after they're finished touristing. So this is the good news, bad things. One is they're learning a lesson here. Not only are they learning, hey, Americans are okay people, they're learning about, I was lied to. Much like the Soviet Union lied about life in America during the Cold War, and then people would come over here in the Cold War and they go, oh my God, this is like paradise, right? And they go back and it's not just America's paradise and Russia's bad. We were lied to. And so we're going to see a lot more Europeans being more skeptical of the European media and press, which just parrots the left press in the United States, because they know they're being lied to. That's the good news. Here's the bad news. Americans are actually starting to like soccer as a sport.
No.
This is just
devastating.
I am mortally devastated that. But somebody pointed out to me. The other thing is you know what? At some point, we're actually going to have something in common with a new thing in common with the Europeans is we're actually both going to love the same sports, which really,
I don't know. Give it a couple weeks now that Team USA hasn't been in it, and see if America still cares. I don't know if they will. Real quick before a clarification on your statement about Europeans being lied to. Who was lying to them, and why were they lying to them?
Oh, the European mainstream media is just like the American mainstream media. It's completely dominated by the left, and all they do is parrot each other. And if you're an editor in Der Spiegel or the British Broadcasting or something, you wake up in the morning and go, okay, how is Donald Trump wrong today? And what terrible things can we say about America? Because the American press says terrible things about America. I mean, they report American leaders saying, I spit on the flag, I can't be proud of this country. They eat that up and they just report it. And then people come here and say, oh my God, it's really all a lie.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we're getting a global exposure of that lie. And I'm really glad that the things that people are celebrating are normal Waffle House, Buc-ee's, free refills kind of things.
It's so cool.
It's great.
It's so cool.
Jim, thanks for being with us.
But I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know if they might steal our Buc-ee's and I'll just leave us a bunch of soccer balls. We might have to actually change the name of soccer to football to make them all happy. And then what are we going to call football? There's long-term problems here we got to think through.
Yeah, I did not prepare adequately for the real threat to the United States when I was talking with Jim Carafano today. I should have led with soccer. That's great. Jim, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye. He is a senior counselor to the president and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation, a long-time contributor here on 97.1. We're grateful for Jim. He's a great guy. We're going to break real quick. The YouTube poll is, which political party is corrupt? Republican, Democrat, neither, or both? Cast your vote at youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. And tell us why you think that in the comments. You can text us as well at 314-241-9797. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, I'm glad to be talking to you about Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage because he's about 8 minutes from being in studio with us. If you have questions for Stewie about home buying right now, about getting a mortgage, yes, I want you to use the bagel loan from Stewie, but he is an incredible resource because he knows what's going on in that market. And home prices are obviously up. Maybe you've been thinking about selling and thinking about buying, and you're wondering, gosh, how do I make sure I get the best rate? How do I make sure I get the best circumstance for the new mortgage that I'm going to need to acquire? It all starts with a phone call to Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. Somebody you can trust. I'm a 2-time customer myself of Stewie's, 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan to find out more information, but a reminder that bagel loan, that is a mortgage that you're going to get, new or refi, that comes with no dollars in closing costs. You don't have to spend any dollars on closing costs. Stewie takes care of them for you. You can trust him. I did twice and will again the next time the opportunity presents itself for me to acquire a new or refied mortgage. Stewie's ready to take your phone call. Make sure you ask him about the bagel loan. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan for more information. NMLS number 226715.
License number GL250000615.
You're cooking dinner. The lights go out. You flip the breaker and forget about it.
But what if it keeps tripping?
Trips once, your breaker's doing its job. Keeps tripping? That's a warning. Bad wiring or something worse.
Do people just keep flipping it?
Most do, until they can't anymore.
Call Grasser. We'll stop the trip.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
I want to talk to you about Greg Hammonds at GregHammonds.com. There are 3 good reasons you should talk with Greg. 1, your health insurance premium is too high. Well, Greg saves most people 30 to 60% on their monthly premiums. 2, your deductible is too high. Well, with most of Greg's plans, you will have no deductible or out-of-pocket expenses. 3, your doctor doesn't take your plan. Well, you can use Greg's plan at most any doctor or hospital in the country. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive. Call Greg, an expert with over 40 years' experience, at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to GregHammonds.com. That's GregHammonds.com. Greg will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government. Because you don't know what you don't know about your health insurance coverage.
Men. Need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Baby born a Birkin. She's been telling me all night long. Gasoline and groceries. The list goes on and on.
So that YouTube poll, which political party is corrupt, neither both Republican or Democrat. We've got some text messages here on the Annie Frey Show text line, comments as well on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat. If you want to text us your thoughts on this poll, or we're looking to harvest some of those great X's and Y's questions for 2:30 on the show. If you want to know something about women, a question you've always wanted to ask, you can really pretty much text it mostly anonymously. We'll have your phone number. We don't know who you are. 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797 for your feedback or your X's and Y's questions that we'd like to feature. What do you got so far?
So far on the poll, the question is, which political party is corrupt? Several answers. This one says both at certain levels, but in the last decade or so, the progressive-controlled Democrat Party has become the biggest criminal organization in the history of Western civilization. I think he's made his mind up. The next one says both, and anyone who says otherwise is absolutely lying to themselves.
Yeah.
And then both. There's a lot of both.
Ripper says on our YouTube channel, I said both parties, but I think Dems are worse. So that's probably a sentiment that several listeners out there are feeling right now. Dirk said, I chose both, although I feel there is more corruption on the Dem side. No evidence, just a gut feeling. Betsy said, of course, would like to say neither or Democrats only. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Kenny said, no side is completely clean, but the Dems are overall a pretty corrupt bunch. Info Dude said, both. Not everyone in the parties, but corruption appears to be in both. Then the question becomes, which party has more corruption? Yep. So a lot of both. A lot of responses right now saying both sides.
Well, it's hard not to say both because there always is corruption when it comes to power. But we gave a very prolonged and thoughtful response to the fact that when you come to real world examples happening right now in front of your eyes, at a state level especially, Democrats are a train wreck. And there's a lot of other things too that we talked about, but that was the main one.
I don't know that I would just relegate it to state level.
Well, I'm sure it's happening at the federal government too. It did under Biden. I mean, you think about the money funneled through USAID to organizations that I guess if you really, really wanted to squint and say, well, that's not corruption. It's just the misuse and handling of funds in a way that you wouldn't approve. But I don't know. They were funding a lot of crap and a lot of friends, a lot of back rubbing deals between friends.
Speaking of
for contracts.
Graham Platner, have you looked at his mustache yet?
Yeah, I have.
And?
Yeah, it's a little long in places where you would expect it to be a little shorter.
Walrus.
He's got a walrus mustache.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Walrus?
I understand.
That's an appropriate categorization of his facial hair.
Yeah, I think so.
Would you wear a mustache like Graham Platner?
I don't have as much room between my top lip and my nose to be able to do that. So no.
I think you should do it for the show.
Well, okay, then.
I don't know. You've done it. You've done things that are no. Please don't. I'll have to do the whole show looking over here at the other side of the room when I talk to you. How's
it's
it going
just
over
basically
there?
Not shaving your mustache.
Oh, it's
and like kind of combing it.
I feel like he's only trimming it with his scissors when it gets to his lip, like
just
all
at
of it.
At the top of the lip. Yeah.
It's not the worst thing about Graham Platner, but it sure as heck isn't the best thing about Graham Platner. Not at all. Can't handle it. I don't know. He hasn't stepped down yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has by the end of the show.
I hope he stays in it.
I don't. Ugh, man, I can't stand him. When he first came on the scene, I think I came on the air and was like, I'm not going to cover this guy. He repulses me.
Yeah, and then you covered him constantly.
Shut up, I did not.
You could not turn away.
Well, all right. Let's get Stewie in here next. I am very curious about the housing market, and also we're going to talk to Stewie about credit scores. I don't think people really understand credit scores. People know various things about them. Okay, I need more credit. I need less hard inquiries. But also the credit score that you use that is picked for your mortgage, is it the same credit score as the one you're looking at on Credit Karma? I think you'll be interested to find out the answer here. We'll be right back with Stewie at Stuart's American Mortgage in studio next.
Here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell them bring another round, we need plenty more. 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jay Dale's got a history. There's a party downtown near 5th Street. Everybody at the bar get tipsy. Everybody at the bar get tipsy. Everybody at the bar get tipsy.
Air Comfort Service online at aircomfortservice.com. The phone number, folks, is 314-513-0091. Ryan is nodding in affirmation at my mistake. Thank you for highlighting it. Made me feel better about myself.
I'm just glad to be here for it.
314-513-0091. If you have an AC concern, you need to repair it or you need to replace it, Air Comfort Service 24/7, holidays, whatever it might be, they're ready to take your phone call and restore your comfort zone to your home as soon as possible. Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation is excited to launch a new totally free online tool that helps you make a decision when it comes to repairing or replacing your air conditioner, your furnace, even your entire HVAC system. If you're a homeowner who lives in the greater St. Louis area, you go to the website aircomfortservice.com/repair. You will be able to see this tool and price out for you right there from the comfort of your home, your desktop, whatever it might be, and decide the direction that you might want to head. But you can always certainly call them at 314-513-0091. Find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Let's just face it, right? Your home should work for you, not against you. Hi, it's Kim, and if you've been dreaming of a new kitchen, bathroom, or a finished basement, now's the time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design. They're St. Louis's trusted experts in turning houses into dream homes. Just imagine this, a spa-like bathroom, maybe a chef-inspired kitchen, or how about a cozy basement perfect for some movie nights? Their team handles everything from design to installation so you can just sit back and enjoy the process. Visit lakesidearty.com today to start your dream renovation.
Most sellers put their home on the market and just wait to see what happens. Hey, it's Mark Cox, and I'm with Gloria Liu, your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria, is there a better way to sell?
There is. Instead of listing your home the traditional way and hoping for the right buyer, I can get you up to 8 competitive cash offers right from the start. That means you're not guessing what your home might sell for. You're looking at the real offers and choosing the one that works the best for you. It also helps you to set the right price and create stronger demand if you decide to go to market. It gives you control, leverage, and a clear path forward before you accept just any offer. And remember, I'll guarantee to sell your home at 100% of the market value, or I'll pay you the difference.
Before you sell your home, see what your options are. Call the one I trust, Gloria Liu, 314-325-6888, or visit gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
It's Mark Cox. Celebrate the month of July with Zero Res. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129 and get your air ducts clean for $599 per unit. Book online at zeroresstl.com and take advantage of the savings.
Our YouTube live chat poll question today is, which political party is corrupt? Is it neither, both, Republican, or Democrat? This text just came in. As I read that, it says both, but lefties more. All right. Let us know what you think. 314-241-9797. It is 1:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Happy birthday, America, in 2026. Get used to hearing the word semi-quincentennial. America 250 on 97.1 FM Talk. Sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
I won't lie to you. I know he's just not right for you. And you could tell me if I'm off, but I see it on your face when you say that he's the one that you want. And you're spending all your time in this wrong situation, and anytime you want it to stop, I know I can treat you better than he can. And any girl like you deserves a gentleman. Tell me, why are we wasting time on all your wasted crown when you should be with me instead? I know I can treat you better, better than he can. I'll stop time for you the second you say you'd like.
All right, I got my friend Stewie in here, and we're, of course, talking about all things life and everything. There is so much that goes into buying a home. And for me, Stewie, you get my text messages randomly, and I'm like, should I do this? And Stewie's like, no. This is what you should do, which is, I encourage, if you're listening right now and you are, kind of staring at the revolving door, thinking about getting in the housing market, thinking about listing your home, but you're panicking because you think rates are really high and it might not be the right time. There's a lot of stuff out there right now, Stewie, about affordability. And people are struggling people are waiting for houses to get on the market to bring prices overall down. You've got a solution to help people make that transition, especially if the rates are higher now than people are still thinking COVID rates. I can't help myself. Those aren't coming back.
Those are not. Well, God forbid they should come back.
Because
I would love it to come back for our customers to get better payments, but
it would be a calamitous to the economy.
It's going to be calamitous to our society. It would have to be another, COVID type thing, and we don't want that. So you're not going to see 2-3%.
So you're always coming up with ways to benefit the people who you work with for lending to make sure that they can have the most competitive situation in the game. The bagel loan is one that I've been talking about for years, and I've used it twice myself. You don't charge closing costs when people use the bagel loan. But you're announcing that you're extending an offer that is incredible. You've had a lot of people come to you to enjoy this 1% lower rate for the first year of a mortgage. Talk to me about why you do this for people.
It's incredible. So we came up about it 6 weeks ago. We said, you know what? Rates are going up. This whole Iran situation, oil, all that stuff, inflation. New guy coming in the Fed. He actually wants to lower the rates, but can't do it right now. He has to wait till things kind of settle down a little bit. What are we going to do to help the buyers? So we came up with an idea. We'll give you 1% lower for the first year. It's incredible. So if the rate today is 6.5%, you're going to enjoy 1% lower. This is for purchases only right now. There is a refi exception. If you're going from FHA to conventional, we'll offer it to you too. But for regular purchases, you buy a house, we're going to give you 1% lower for the first year. That's incredible. We just closed someone this morning, a great listener. He's closed in 12 days, by the way.
Yep.
$420 a month for less.
That's crazy.
For the first year.
How do you do this? How do you pull that off?
We have our ways. Ancient Chinese secret. We can't
tell
you.
Okay.
But we do it in order to accommodate. There is a program like this that you can go to other lenders and they will charge you a large fee to get 1% lower. It's almost like paying points.
Yeah.
Okay? We're paying for it. We believe that if we do this for our customers, when the rates actually do go down, they're going to come back to us and refinance it. So we're predicting in the next 6 to 18 months, rates are going to drop down quite dramatically, 0.5%, 0.75%. For us, that's dramatic.
Yeah.
Okay. And all our customers that we have are going to refinance for free. So this gives you the breathing room to get the lower payment, to get the house of your dreams and affordability. And once the rates go down, you can not worry about the adjustment in a year or two later on, and you'll be way ahead of the game. Now, if that adjustment takes place in a year or two, you're no worse off than you would have been if you bought it today. So this is opening a window of opportunity. It's getting you in the door. It's giving you the things you want to do, the house. It's making you more competitive. I mean, if you can go and afford another $10,000 on a purchase and raise it because you're paying 1% less, you're going to get the house of your dreams and be able to make the payments for this interim period. So you'll be way ahead of the game.
So we're speaking with Stewie at Stuart's American Mortgage, a great friend of mine and sponsor of this show. You can contact him directly by phone call or text at 314-324-4440. When people are thinking about buying houses, there's probably a lot of people who have been out of the game because rates have been the last 5-10 years of rates have just been wildly different.
It's crazy.
So there might be people who are thinking about downsizing a house, maybe relocating, whatever it might be, and they haven't been paying attention. Now you put something out there like this, and they think, well, maybe now is a time where we could do this, especially if you are lowering their interest rate for the first year. What do rates look like in a year for that refinance? It might be in an even better position.
You'll be in a better position. I would bet on it.
But what do you want to tell those people who are considering relocating right now or selling their home and then going into buying again? What are the things that they need to have lined up to be in a good position to do that?
Well, number one, you're going to be competing against all these other bids that are happening. And good homes right now, you're talking about 3, 4, 5 contracts that are being presented.
Yeah.
It's almost like COVID where people are making contracts and offers without inspection contingencies, without financing contingencies. That's a little bit dangerous. You got to know what you're doing and you got to know what lender you're going with to be able to make sure it's going to pull through. We had a situation once where we took over the loan, we got it closed, but the previous lender went ahead and said, oh yeah, we can do this. They supplied or they gave a contract to the seller with no financing contingency, and then the financing fell through.
Uh-oh.
And they didn't have the money to go ahead and buy the house. They were going to be sued. It got transferred for us. We figured out a way to get it done, and we got it done in 12 days. But you got to be very careful what you're doing with that. So number one is have your financing and your plan in place of what you're going to do when you're going to buy a home. Real big footnote. Sellers today do not like contingencies on selling your present residence in order to buy the new one. They will not accept it on good homes. So what you can do is you can buy the home, put 5% down or whatever you have to put or whatever you can put right away. Then after you sell the house, you can take the proceeds, put it against the loan, and for a small fee, they'll give you the new payment based on the lower loan amount without actually going through the refinance process. It's called a recast. Many lenders do it. Many lenders don't. We obviously do it. It's an opportunity. But you got to go into that transaction knowing that you're going to do that recast or putting in that you're going to buy the home without selling your prior house. So that's number one. Number two, have the pre-approval letter ready for you to go. So now you got your financing in place. When you're going to go ahead and submit the contract, the seller's agent wants to know that you've been pre-approved. And they also want you to be pre-approved by somebody local. They don't want a big Bank of America or U.S. Bank, although those may be okay institutions. They don't have the confidence you're going to be able to close on time and that the process is going to be done well. So you have to have somebody local that all other agents know who they are. They've been around for a long time, and they're going to respect that pre-approval letter. Have your ducks in order when it comes to down payment. Where's the money going to come from? Make sure your credit's in line. You're going to do that during the pre-approval process. And then, obviously, you got the bagel loan with no closing costs, so that can increase your bid. But once you have those ducks in a row, then you can go make the contract. You can do it quick, and you're going to get the offers accepted.
So, Stewie, you were saying, and I'm trying to make sure I'm getting this all right. You got the 1% lower on the rate right now. Is that, and that is because you're saying you're predicting the new Fed chair is going to lower rates, and you want to lock people in right now to say, hey, look, you can get it now lower because we think it will be lower.
We are putting our money where our mouth is.
Okay.
So we're predicting those rates to go down. And we are so secure about this that we're actually paying for these buy downs where you're getting 1% lower for the first year.
Okay.
We are actually laying it out. So by doing this, obviously the customers will have a good experience with us, hopefully. Everybody does look at our reviews on Google, and they're going to come back when the refinance process comes through. It's so incredible. We actually had a veteran. Now, VA loans are typically 0.5 to 0.75% better on the rate. Okay, he locked in at 5.5%. First year, 4.5% as an interest rate.
That's incredible.
For the veteran.
Now?
Right now.
That sounds
right
like
now. Right
5
now.
years ago.
It was like it was like unbelievable. So that is such a great opportunity. You can do this with conventional, you can do it with VA, USDA, and some other types of loans. So it's a really great way to go in and get the house now. And if you're on the sidelines, as Annie was mentioning, some people kind of waiting, if you wait till those interest rates drop, when they do drop, you're going to have a problem because there may be 3, 4, 5 bids right now on that house. When those rates drop, it's going to turn into 10 or 15. The prices are going to go up, and you're going to end up paying a lot more than you could today. So here is your window. Here's your invitation. Here's your red carpet to get your house of your dreams, get it done quickly, and get the right price.
So Stewie from Stuart's American Mortgage is in studio with us. Can you stick around and come back when we come back and talk about credit scores?
Oh, yes, please.
I'm obsessed with my credit score.
Why?
Just feel like it's a grade.
You people, I was going to say, people are grading you.
Yeah, I feel like it's an affirmation of hard work. And if it goes down 2 points for some stupid reason, I'm like mad until it goes back up again. It's dumb. But the credit score is everything. It's how you're measured. I think Stewie will tell us when we come back here about how credit scores factor into your lending, what you need to know, maybe what you don't even need to worry about. We'll talk with Stewie about credit scores here next on the Annie Frey Show. Don't go away.
Can't get enough 97.1? Follow us on socials. Facebook, X, Instagram at 97.1 FM Talk, and YouTube at 97.1 FM Talk STL. 97.1 FM Talk. Let's connect.
Listen up. If you have not paid self-employment, business, or individual taxes in years, the IRS will find you. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. I offer real solutions. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Story, today, and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal, or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. At the Lance Story Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Stewart Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Well, I'm sure you're aware, I guess you can all imagine, that not only are we busy, but other reputable companies are also just as busy, if not busier, and it's only going to get worse. So if you know, I know this is tough, but if your system has not been keeping up with your house for just not this year, but last year, the year before, and even the year before that, if you want to quit doing it and just get it done, just call me, Bart Inman, and it's one easy number, the easiest of numbers that sometimes I forget. So write it down. 314-293-2600, Missouri and Illinois, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon with Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage. We are in the 6th hottest real estate market in the country, Stewie. What can buyers in St. Louis do to gain that advantage with you?
You know what, Mark? It's real simple. Number one, the Bagel loan. Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. No closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, no appraisal fees. The Big Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. Take that money you're saving, add it to the bid, beat all the other offers out. Number two, we give you the power of the pre-approval letter. What does that mean? We pre-approve you for the maximum amount that you qualify for. You can then go into our portal and edit the letter and raise it or lower it to any amount you want up to the amount you pre-approved. No waiting for the loan officer, no waiting for anybody else. It's all in your hands. And the third thing, we can close in 10 days. That's a big deal. If you go to the seller and say, hey, here's my offer. It may not be the best, but we can close quick. Everybody else is 30 days out. You know it's going to happen quickly with our reputation. Big bam boom, you got the house of your dreams.
Call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440 or Google the Bagel Loan. NMLS number 226715.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to The Annie Frey Show. We've got Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage, who you just heard there in that last spot. In the flesh, in the studio. Like I said, I'm obsessed with my credit score. I do Credit Karma and Credit Sesame to monitor my credit and my husband's credit.
Do they all say the same thing?
I mean, they report what's there, but sometimes one might check it quicker than others. But Stewie, when I found this out from you a while back, I was like, what? That the credit scores that I'm looking at on my credit apps is not the score that you're looking at as a lender.
No.
What's the point? What am I even doing with my life? Tell me how the credit score factors into what you do.
Well, first you got to realize that lending somebody $400,000 is a lot different than giving them a $10,000 or a $20,000 credit card.
Yeah.
Or a car loan. Okay.
Yeah.
So the risk models are different. There's over 400 different type of credit scores. Equifax, 400 of them. TransUnion, 400 of them. Experian, 400 of them. So depending on the type of company that'll pull the credit, that's going to determine what your score is going to be. So you have to realize that what you see on Discover Card is not your mortgage credit score. The only person that can tell you the mortgage credit score is a lender.
And I asked you this off the break, and you told us there that there's no specific. I can't factor in, okay, if I have this credit score with TransUnion on Credit Karma, I can divide by 2, and that's the one you look at or anything like that. You said that there's no direct relationship.
There's no direct relationships to it. I've seen them go both ways, higher and lower. What you have to realize is that lenders will pull all 3 scores from the mortgage credit score. The middle one is the one that counts. It's not averaged. It's the middle one that counts. Okay? And that's how you're going to get your loan, and that's what's going to determine your rate and all that fun stuff. Now, there is a new credit score model that's come out that's been issued by Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. It's a little more friendly when it comes to lending and when it comes to mortgage lending, okay? It's called your Vantage score. Most lenders do not utilize your Vantage score. We use your Vantage score and we use your FICO score. Whichever one's going to be better and it's going to help you out, that's what we're going to utilize.
That's what Stuart's American Mortgage does, or that's what the mortgage lending?
That's what Stuart's American Mortgage does. Not all lenders do that. So we had a customer recently, I was telling Ryan about it, they came in with a 640 credit score. And then when we ran it through the Vantage score, all of a sudden it was a 692, and we were able to get an approval.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to realize that going to the right lender not only determines the rate, and that's competitive and all that fun stuff with the bagel loan, also what your credit score is going to be is going to change between lenders also.
Yeah.
If they use that model. Now, important to realize how your credit score is broken down. Number one, people think that if I have 5 credit cards on there, I pay off 2 or 3 of them, my score is going to go up. What it is credit utilization that makes a difference. So you want to make sure if you have a lot of money to put down towards your debt or some money to put down towards your debt, you ought to look at each credit card, make sure that the balance is under 30% of what the actual available credit is. That's much more important than paying it off. So get it under that 30%
Per
mark.
credit card.
That's right.
Instead of, if people will think to debt, because I used to think this, and I have recently learned this, debt to credit, that you want to utilize less than 30% of your debt to credit. But they measure, if you're 100% on a $400 credit limit at Kohl's,
it's worse.
That's worse than if you need to be at 30% on that Kohl's.
Right.
30% on your Chase,
Correct.
30% on your Amex.
Correct. So you want to keep it under 30%. That's number one. Number 2 is your credit history. So make sure you're making your payments on time.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 is make sure, this is really important, you don't go out and borrow all of a sudden like crazy all over the place.
Buy a car, buy a house.
Buy this, buy
open
that.
a credit card.
That's going to make a big difference at the end of the day. So new credit and new credit inquiries is going to impact it. Remember we talked about FICO versus Vantage? They have different kind of credit score models. So when you run a credit report on a FICO, it's actually better. It lasts for 45 days. I've had people come into my office and said, hey, I just had my credit run by ABC Credit Union. If you run it, it's going to hurt me. That is not true. FICO will
get it done.
Any lender that reruns your credit within 45 days on a FICO one, you get no disadvantage to you at all. On the Vantage side, if you run it after 15 days, it's going to hurt you. So you have to know a particular circumstance for a buyer or a borrower and which credit score to utilize, whether it's the Vantage or the FICO.
So if you're going to do it, you need to say, okay, prepare yourself to say, these are the people I want to have check this. And then you need to go to those people and sequentially do it in a small amount of time, so it's not spread out.
That's right. So it's a different model, applies to different people, and if you have the right lender, they'll be able to pick and choose which one to give you, which gives you a better rate, maybe even lower PMI if you're borrowing more than 80% of the value of the property.
We've got like a minute left, Stewie, and if you are interested in learning more about Stuart's American Mortgage, you can Google the bagel loan or text him right now. He's holding his phone in his hand, and his number is 314-324-4440. Stick around, and I'll give you Ryan's cell phone in the 2 o'clock hour. But Stewie, are there people who come to you whose credit score is irredeemable, not going to happen, can't get a loan?
Yes.
What do you do? What do you tell them?
Start paying your bills on time.
Okay. I love that.
I mean, I had somebody come in last week. I've never seen a 425 credit score, 430 credit score. They had a 430. And he says, what can I do to improve it? I said, well, start paying your bills on time.
What about people who come to you with that 650 credit score and they think that they'll never get a loan?
Oh, there's so many people that come in with 650 and we run the Vantage and it's 720, or we run the FICO and it's 720.
So there are people listening right now who think that they can't get in the game, who absolutely can get in the game. Are you going to judge those people when you look at their credit score?
No. We had a 97 point listener, a veteran, for a year did not call me. Listened to the show all the time.
Hi.
Thought his credit score was in the 500s because that's what Discover said. Came to us, it was 654. We were able to refinance him, give him 100% cash out, pay off his debts, save him $3,000 a month cash flow, changed his life. So don't judge. Give us a call. We'll be able to judge for you and diagnose it.
Yeah, it's such a good move, folks. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Stewie, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you. Stuart's American Mortgage. 2 o'clock hour next. Don't go away.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Point Pest Control. It's Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com. I am a premium service plan subscriber, and Point Pest Control has given me an amount of peace of mind that I would almost say is priceless, because I do not want bugs in my house. I don't want to encounter them. I don't want evidence of them, and we don't have that due to Point Pest Control and their quarterly service to our home. You can enjoy this as well with a little extra savings, 10% discount on the top of whatever special might be going on right now. Save an extra 10% when you message or when you tell them that Annie sent you. And you just give them a call at 636-798-0023. 636-798-0023. Online, Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com. If you have spiders in your house like I did, that's why I called them initially, crickets, mice, ants, whatever the problem is that's plaguing your home right now, get rid of it, and get rid of it fast with people you can trust. Treatments that are safe in your home and outside. It's Point Pest Control. Online at pointpestcontrol.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-887-4333. 314-887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Tried to block it on the Sobrady Fox News, but a judge in Utah allowing a video compilation played by prosecutors who say it shows the movements of accused assassin Tyler Robinson on the day Charlie Kirk was killed in Utah.
Lead investigator David Hull testified the footage was compiled from a number of surveillance cameras on September 10th, exactly 300 days ago today.
Fox's Claudia Cowan at the courthouse in Provo, where it's day 2 of a preliminary hearing.
As the video played on a courtroom monitor, Hull described how a car believed to belong to Robinson entered a parking structure. Then a figure matching Robinson's description walked to the amphitheater where Charlie Kirk was set to speak and allegedly interacted with Turning Point USA representatives. Video also captured the suspected gunman on the roof of a nearby building, getting into a sniper position on the corner.
The man in the video is wearing shorts at first, then later in long pants and walking with a limp. Prosecutors believe Robinson hid the rifle down a pant leg. The defense challenging ballistics and DNA evidence. New York City fire officials investigating reports of falling bricks find support columns buckling at a building under renovation on the east side of Midtown Manhattan, immediately evacuating the surrounding area.
So far, all workers in the building that is being converted from commercial to residential use are accounted for. Until more equipment arrives, FDNY Department Chief John Esposito said they're prepared for the worst.
The building has continued to move since we've been on the scene.
We have a frozen zone and a collapse zone set up. Drones are also assessing conditions until engineers can get in and find out what caused the buckling.
Fox's Gernal Scott just getting reports in Maine that former state Senate President Troy Jackson has filed paperwork that could lead to a U.S. Senate run. This is Graham Platner, who won a Democratic primary in June despite multiple controversies, is now facing growing calls to step aside after an ex-girlfriend accused him of rape, which he denies. America's listening to Fox News.
Of all the wireless companies in America, only one has 5 stars in every category from Consumer Reports, and that company is Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. Plus, no service contracts and no cancellation fees. Just phenomenal U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
It's a good-looking Tuesday afternoon, comfortable humidity, and pretty easy to take temperatures thanks to a north to northwest flow. Partly to mostly sunny and 87. Nice evening tonight. Clear skies, 69 for the overnight low. Wednesday, sunny and 88. Thursday, 93. Got showers and thunderstorms in here Thursday night, especially late Thursday night, Friday into Friday night. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Tuesday. We're happy you're here. I am encouraging you to go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel right now. First and foremost, please subscribe. We'd love to have you. And just give us your feedback as well. You can text it to us. You can also comment it on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Which political party is corrupt? Neither, both, Republican or Democrat. You said you got some text there you want to read?
Yeah, this one in particular is, my guess is from the left. I don't know. It's definitely asking a critical of Trump question, which is fine. It says, question, does the blatant manipulation of the market and Trump's recent disclosures of what amounts to insider trades made a year ago not count as current corruption? Insider trading.
Of whom?
Of Trump.
He's not guilty of insider trading.
Okay.
So, I mean, for somebody, if you're texting the show and you're like, Donald Trump is insider trading, and your text doesn't lead with Nancy Pelosi, I'm not taking you seriously.
Well, that's why I think you could say both, because that is a form of corruption, insider trading in general, which, yes, absolutely, Nancy Pelosi has used more than anybody. And there have been bipartisan efforts to stop it. I don't actually personally think that those efforts have been very good. Like, they're good intentioned, but the law wouldn't really do much. So that's why I've not really been in support of them much, and why they maybe haven't passed. But yeah, insider trading for sure is a problem. And it is a both sides problem. Although there's two ways you could look at that too. Because if you are in Congress, you have some control over the direction of Congress, but you don't have all of it. If you are the Speaker of the House, you have, or the President, you have a lot of control over the way Congress is going to move / the executive branch. And you could manipulate the market much more personally in that way, which is why you bring up somebody like Pelosi.
I think the insider trading stuff and the hush money slush fund, all of this stuff that kind of occurs, that's specifically Congress, that occurs within the walls of Congress. You know, there's going to be a hazard to any job. You take risks. If you're a person of power, just because somebody accuses you of something, and I say this on the day that Graham Platner is probably going to drop out of the Senate race, just because someone accuses you of something doesn't mean that it's true. If you're in a position of power, there are a lot of people who will lob allegations at powerful, rich, wealthy people because they want to be paid to go away. So I understand that there are risks that come with being in some of these different positions of power where things could be lobbed at you that aren't actually true. But I don't understand how people are going to D.C. and becoming so wealthy. So wealthy. Not just like, okay, now you can charge 5 figures for a speaking fee or something like that. But incredibly wealthy when they came in as, I don't know, a bartender in New York City. Like, how does that happen? And why aren't we asking more questions about it? I guess the people who need to regulate it are the people who are benefiting from it. You know, I saw Wes Moore, who's the governor of Maryland, on with Shannon Bream on Fox News Sunday this weekend. And he was a very charming guy. You could tell that he's a good politician, but he was talking about he, as the governor of Maryland, has implemented something so that no governor in the future can take the governor's seat without putting all of their assets into a blind trust, which essentially means that you don't get to say these dollars go here and we're taking those dollars from there and putting them over here. And the president has that as well, but he was using that as an opportunity, a launch pad, to talk about how disgusted he is at President Trump's, like, the insider trading allegation towards President Trump is a current trend from the Democrat Party. They don't like that he's wealthy. The President Trump came into office wealthy. Over the course of his first term, he lost money. I think, what did he say? It's like $2.5 million over the course of 4 years that you can make from the presidency from a salary position. He doesn't take that salary. Donald Trump's wealthy and has a lot of investments those investments are going to go up when ours go up. Like, if your 401k has gone up while President Trump has been in office the second time because the economy has borne out a high return, if you're invested in the stock market, Donald Trump's going to make money on that too. He's making money with the same rate of return if he's invested in the stock market the way we are. But it's not like you get, I mean, I don't understand people who are pointing at President Trump right now and suggesting that he is somehow guilty of insider trading just because he's made money. He's got money, and people who have money make money on their money. Now, thank you, Donald Trump, babies can do the same thing if they sign up for Trump accounts.
Trump's in a weird spot, too, because he came in wealthy, of course, to his first term, and then wasn't president for 4 years, where he was able to do private business again, which is weird. Like, you don't have really a modern precedent for that. And so a lot of the stuff that he's made money, on, like Truth Social, for instance, he's made a lot of money on that. Well, he started that post-presidency and pre-second term. So it's strange.
Graham Platner is still kind of figuring out, I guess, what he's going to do about the future of his campaign. If Graham Platner, he's been accused now, these accusations have come out in full in the last 24 hours of showing up at a woman's house drunk, breaking into her home and forcing himself upon her, rape. And that accusation is out there. This woman sat down with, what's his name? CNN. Super stuffy. Not Chris Cuomo. He's not on there anymore.
Anderson Cooper?
No, the other one. He always looks disgusted.
Jake Tapper.
Yes. That's it. Doesn't he always look disgusted?
Actually, yeah. I never thought about it.
He always looks like, I can't believe I have to do this.
He's like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, when he sat down, he was already thinking that.
It's so pretentious. Anywho, she sat down with Jake Tapper and articulates this whole story. And then at the end, Tapper says to her, there are going to be people who are going to say, if Graham Platner is running, And that's what it takes to beat Susan Collins, that I'm going to vote for him. And she goes, yeah, some of my friends have said that. And I'm like, those are great friends.
Yeah.
Can we assess your friendships with people? He's going to drop out of the race. If he drops out before Monday, or by Monday, I think at like 5 p.m. Eastern, whatever, the Democrat Party gets to pick somebody. They just have to pick somebody. I don't know if there are some, qualifications. Maybe you have to own a residence in Maine or something like that. Maybe you don't. I think not every state says you have to.
I'm really hoping and praying. Fingers crossed. Kamala Harris.
It's her way back in. I mean, I don't know how you can support somebody like Graham Platner, and then the allegations against him beforehand. He was sending inappropriate text messages to women after he was married.
I didn't realize that.
What? That was a huge deal.
Well, I've seen a lot of the stuff, but I didn't realize it was after he was married.
Yes, absolutely. She came out and she's like, we've got a happy marriage. We're in counseling. She's going,
yes, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
I mean, it's not, this guy's not a good guy. Why did they pick him? I don't understand. I don't understand any of it. There's a lot more here. To me, it's like, it's easy for me to just fall back and think, well, the Democrat Party is corrupt. There's something there. There's an avenue that they saw that went through Graham Platner, and they got everything out of him that they need. Then they'll drop him like a bad habit and move on to the next thing. The Susan Collins, people think that the way to the majority for the Democrats goes through Maine, and Graham Platner was imploding in such an incredible way that now they're done with him. I mean, that is a point that a lot of people are making today. The reason why the Democrats are now done, why Bernie Sanders is now done, Ro Khanna is now done with Graham Platner, is because the polling is finally in a position where the money will dry up. And if the money's not there, then I'm sorry, we're done with you. This is not principled.
There's another weird thing about Graham Platner that I just realized when you were talking.
Is it his mustache?
No, it's not. I'm not looking at a picture of him. It's that a lot of times in both parties, you get stuck with a candidate sometimes because the money, the apparatus, the name, the prestige, maybe the past is behind them. Like the establishment has picked that candidate. Look at Mitt Romney as an example on the Republican side. You go, was anybody really excited on the Republican side to vote for Mitt Romney? No, but he was the guy. Okay, so we went with Mitt Romney. With Graham Platner, he wasn't even the guy. He wasn't the establishment pick. And so you go, well, maybe the establishment sometimes puts these people out. He was the anti-hero. He was the guy coming from outside the establishment.
He was the socialist.
He was the guy that the voters said, screw you, Democrat Party. I'm picking this. I want to go with this guy instead. With all this stuff baked in, the voters said, and the swell of the far left said, this is my guy, despite all of it. That's what's amazing, because you get stuck with bad candidates sometimes, but they picked this bad candidate by hand and said, no, he'll be the one.
Last night, Kevin McCarthy was on Jesse Waters' show. Jesse Waters was out, and Charlie Hurt was filling in, and Kevin McCarthy is sitting there reacting to the Graham Platner, this is a bombshell. Okay. At the very end of the interview with Charlie Hurt, Kevin McCarthy says, well, the one thing you need to know is that when Republicans find out that they have a bad candidate, they don't vote. They quit voting for him, like Matt Gaetz. And I was like, Matt Gaetz, no one's talking about
Nobody's
Matt Gaetz. Kevin McCarthy's like, I'll talk to you on Monday, the July 5th, but I get the last word at the end of the segment. And it was a shot to Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz has got a show on something.
News Nation or OAN?
I think it's OAN.
Is it?
I don't think it's News Nation. I just thought, oh yeah, Matt Gaetz, that guy. And I thought to myself, the voters voted for him. He resigned. He was reelected, and he stepped back. So it just seemed like he needed to get a hit.
Yeah,
of Matt Gaetz,
right? That
uppercut from the left, or the right at the
nowhere.
end. It was really ridiculous.
Unless he knows something, like Matt Gaetz for Attorney General.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if Kevin McCarthy wants to come on this show and say something about Matt Gaetz. Remember when we got a text message during the show, and it was like Matt Gaetz would like to come on the show,
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. When? And they're like, 20 minutes. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. When? And they're like, 20 minutes. And I was like, okay.
Yes.
He was stumping for Darren Bailey.
That was weird.
It was weird. And we took his call. I was like,
That's right. We've had Matt Gaetz.
Hi, Congressman.
We've had Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes.
Have we had Kevin McCarthy also?
Yes.
I thought so. We've had Mike Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Who other random? We almost
have a
just
majority.
Recently. I was out for the day. You guys had George Santos.
Yes.
I was like, oh, you're kidding me.
He said he's excited to come back on. We need to reach back out to him.
Oh, yeah, we got to do that when I'm here.
Can you handle a George Santos interview if it's one where I'm out?
No.
I don't.
But you should let me.
Would you embarrass the show?
Yes.
I think that would be a poor judgment on our part. Although I think maybe some things would be exposed in that. That's probably not the right way.
Probably
to word it.
from me, though.
Yeah. Which political party is corrupt? Neither both Republicans or Democrats. You can go to the YouTube channel and vote. When we come back, Ethan, sports and local, a womp womp on Team USA. Although, man, as hyped as everybody was for the soccer team leading up to this game, everybody today is like, yeah, we sucked.
Yeah.
It's like there's no love for it. I'm still as pro Team USA as I was when we started, which is just, we're cheering for the red, white, and blue, right? Okay, I'm game. Ethan, next, don't go away. Todd Sivia of Sivia Law, online at sivialaw.com. I encourage you, if you have an estate plan question, if you've never even thought about your estate plan, or you've thought about it and it freaks you out, so you just kind of put it off. If you've thought about establishing a trust, who are your powers of attorney? Who would make the financial decisions for you in the case of an emergency? Who would make your health decisions for you in the case of an emergency? If you have these answers in your head but not down on paper through a reputable law firm, you've got a call to make. And I'm excited to tell you right now that if you're one of the first 10 callers to this number I'm about to give you, you're going to get your first strategy session free, a $300 value free at Sivia Law. The number to call is 833-995-WILL. That's 833-995-WILL. You call Todd Sivia and you tell him Annie sent you, and that initial strategy session where you're going to learn about Todd Sivia and obviously be able to see why my husband and I hired him to do our estate plan. Get that process started and get the peace of mind that comes with the Sivia Law way of helping you through life's transitions. 833-995-WILL, SiviaLaw.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. When we meet our clients for the first time, they have built up a lifetime of savings. Their question is, what can we do with this money so we can live comfortably the rest of our lives? First, we develop a strategy to protect your nest egg from any market losses. Then, we build your own personalized structured income plan that will generate you an income the rest of your life. We put you in control of your money.
You've earned it, and it's our job to make sure you enjoy it. Let our team show you how you can have the retirement of your dreams. Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. You will also get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 40 years. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative. Ethan Sports and Local is sponsored by All Financial.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
Murphin's Burgle Nuts.
Burgle Nuts.
Hey, Burgle Nuts.
Ethan.
Did you steal those nuts?
I'm going to sit this one out. Anyway.
Hello, everyone. I always love being greeted with such professionalism on the Annie Frey Show.
Well, we got to prepare you for the Mark Reardon show. It starts at 3.
That's all it is.
Nice.
It's like stretching.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I ask people in the grocery store if they've stretched.
Only the old ones.
Yeah.
Ryan Wiggins shows up to you and it's a Deerberg.
Excuse me, old lady.
You stretch today?
Have you stretched today?
You should gasp and put your hand on your chest and go, and just look absolutely offended because that means Ryan thought you looked old.
Mm-hmm. You should say fresh.
What? Only if you're in the
old
produce
people
department.
say.
Ethan?
The St. Louis Cardinals lost last night's game in what was a terrible sports night for just absolutely everyone, everywhere.
Except for Belgium.
Final score was 4-3, and all 4 of the Brewers' runs came in the 7th inning. Cardinals had a 3-run lead going into the top of the 7th, and everything was rolling along quite smoothly when Garrett Mitchell had an infield single off of Justin Brule. Brule tried to make an acrobatic play to record the out, landed awkwardly on his foot, and as a result, sprained his ankle. He had to come out immediately, and that put the Cardinals in a really tough spot as far as matchups go and relief pitchers being ready, and Ryan Fernandez got hit around a little bit. Fast forward about 15 minutes, and the Cardinals are trailing, and they were not able to get that tying run across the plate to score. So very disappointing game for the Cardinals. One that feels like they probably should have won. Felt like that one got stolen away last night, and especially going into a very big series, 5-game series against the Brewers. It was originally supposed to be a 4-gamer, but because of a rainout earlier in the year, another one got added onto it. Doubleheader being played today. So, disappointing for the Cardinals. Hopefully they can turn things around and find a way to win 3 of the next 4 against the team that is leading the National League Central. Michael McGreevy is the starting pitcher in tonight's game as we near the All-Star break. Sunday is the final game before the first half concludes, and then we'll have the Home Run Derby, the All-Star game going on next week. And you know what? It'll be pretty cool to see if, first off, Jordan Walker will be in the All-Star game, but it'll be cool to see if he participates in the Home Run Derby. 21 home runs on the year, so there's a chance he might do it. So that'd be kind of cool.
Might participate in the Home Run Derby?
Well, he has to be asked to do it, but he has expressed interest in doing it if he is asked. He's like, yeah, I think I'd be interested in doing it.
So he's just waiting around, waiting to be asked, hoping that it happens. This is pretty stressful.
It's like a girl at a dance. Old wallflower chick.
Just waiting for a man to...
Waiting for a man to come along and
get
ask
the burgle nuts to go ask the question.
Waiting for a man
she
to come
could barely
along,
even get that out. She was
say,
sitting on that
would you like
one.
to come to my Home Run Derby?
Okay. All right. Well, I mentioned it was a disappointing sports night.
What else happened?
Ryan mentioned that it was for everyone besides Belgium. We got to rip off the Band-Aid, and we got to talk about just how pitiful
Ethan,
the United States men's national team was last night.
I don't really care about the X's and O's of the soccer game. I actually do care. Are you emotionally affected by their loss last night?
I am not. I grew up playing soccer. I enjoy the game.
Or are you a communist?
I enjoy the game of soccer. I do not actively follow the game as much as I used to. That being said, World Cup time, comes around every 4 years, and you're invested. You're invested in your country. Wouldn't say I'm a huge USA hockey fan either, but when that time comes around, Four Nations face-off or the Olympics, you're bought in. And I was bought in. And maybe I got bought in a little bit too much. I don't know. I think not to say that I'm regretting anything. I'm saying as far as what the expectations were for the team itself.
So you're disappointed.
I'm extremely disappointed.
So you're emotionally affected.
Yes.
But you wouldn't be able to enjoy the win if you aren't putting yourself in a position to be disappointed in the loss.
Here's the part that sucks so much, and I'll share this briefly and in a way that I think makes sense even to those that aren't the biggest soccer fans. For 2 World Cups ago, the United States did not qualify in 2018. It was considered extremely embarrassing. They lost to Trinidad and Tobago to not qualify. It was considered an extremely embarrassing loss. In 4 of the last 5 World Cups, excluding that one where they didn't even qualify, they've been eliminated in the round of 16. This World Cup was supposed to be different for a couple of reasons. One, this was the most talented team on paper that Team USA had ever had. When you look at like where guys were competing in Europe and around the world compared to just in the MLS, this was the most talented team the U.S. had ever had. The second one being that they had home field advantage, which goes a very long way in the World Cup and has in previous World Cups. If you look back to host nations and how well they've done in previous years. The U.S. getting knocked out in the round of 16 is considered a massive disappointment for that reason. The other reason is because you had more people in the country invested in the game of soccer than at any point, I would argue, in the history of America.
Absolutely.
Past 250 years, you had this awesome sense of pride right around America 250, where already there's just loads of patriotism going on. You got games right around the 4th of July. You had a really awesome, hard-fought win 3 days before the 4th of July. You had 30 million people watching the last game. There was probably close to 40 million people watching this one. And they laid an absolute stinker. And
so it was bad.
It was embarrassing. It is one of the most embarrassing sporting events in American history, in my opinion. Not because they lost, because of the way they lost. Some very common sense things that...
It would have been better if the red card would have been
100%.
That's the only thing that
100%.
It's like, at least you had an excuse.
Every single goal should not have happened. Extremely embarrassing. And there was a couple of them you're thinking...
Every single goal?
Every single goal that happened was extremely embarrassing. And a world-class quality team that was putting in, I would say, full effort, that would not have happened. At least 3 of the 4.
I was going to say at least 3 of the 4.
At least 3 of the 4.
The second one, to me, was the most legitimate goal that Belgium scored.
And that was, in ways, the most deflating one because Team USA had just tied the game up, and 61 seconds later, Belgium took the lead back, and that's the goal he's talking about was the most arguable, valuable goal.
She's in Florida, and she texted me all caps, goal, but by the time I got to the message,
oh my gosh,
I was like, and goal.
We
were losing before I could celebrate the tie.
My notifications on my phone ruined it for me, and I had to do a double take because I thought it said that we were leading. I'm like, we scored again? And then I looked, I was like,
nope.
You've got to be kidding me. Already? Yeah, that was extremely deflating for that reason because I love the game of soccer. And, you know, I've even seen conversations going on today, Annie, on a lot of different platforms about, you know, looking down at the lower ranks of soccer, you know, at the youth level. And it's the same issue that a lot of sports are having in America. There is issues with how expensive the game is to play. And it's what...
Which is annoying to me for soccer, which I'm talking way out of school here because I don't know anything about soccer. But I do know baseball, hockey, certainly. I've seen dance. There's a lot of stuff that you have, there's like equipment and stuff that you have to buy to play those sports. Soccer should be a sport that shouldn't have to be too terribly expensive.
You would think so. But I mean, like all of these travel sports are expensive now, and soccer goes into that directly, and the U.S. does it different than the rest of the world does it. Large scale as far as how they
free market and capitalism that are devouring the children.
How they develop their young talent and how these clubs with European teams bring in this young talent and they develop it to eventually be as good as it is. The U.S. doesn't do that nearly to the same level. And so some things need to change, but it was very disappointing because you lost a lot of the casual fans that you had built up over the last few weeks, in my opinion, because of how embarrassing last night was.
I agree. I hated that game. That game made me emotionally sad.
Really?
Yeah, it did. It's because it was just so bad. And we did get the one goal, and then you had literally exactly 1 minute to celebrate.
It became a cultural event with the America 250 stuff going on, and to a certain extent became a political event a little bit yesterday as well with President Trump's involvement. And I think that all of that makes it that much bigger than it would have been if it would have just been solely a soccer game.
I think the World Cup's still a net win for the United States.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Certainly. But it could have been so much more if you just would have won one more game, or even if you wouldn't have gotten laughed off of the stage.
Yes.
Compete.
Just compete.
Compete.
Ugh, gosh.
Really sucks.
It really makes you put into perspective the whole team because you go, oh, they added the 32 round this year, and so it felt like you did better than you really did.
Nope.
But no, you really didn't. It was about the same as ever.
They beat nobody with talent. The teams they beat were not were not very good.
That's what Joe Concha said at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, they weren't. I mean, everyone was well lower ranked than us. This was the only team of world class this was the only team in the top 10 that they faced, and they got bullied. They didn't just get beat; they got bullied. It was very disappointing. So hopefully some things can start to change. What's next? We got baseball and football to look forward to.
Soccer isn't our game. It could be, I guess. I guess there's no real reason why it shouldn't be per se, but on the global stage, baseball is our game. I guess American football as well. But
basketball?
Yeah, whatever. Europe's got a pretty good basketball scene too. It's
not
the NBA,
they're on the way up.
Yeah,
it's getting pretty close.
But and I think the NBA has opened up the door for there to be an alternative option out there. But in the baseball world, we've competed back-to-back championships, right?
In the World Baseball Classic?
Yeah.
Yes.
We lost to Japan. We lost to Venezuela. We competed in both. So, I mean, that's what matters. Can I make you feel better that way? No?
No. Doesn't help.
Let's just go back to our default opinion of it's soccer. No?
Yeah, but we were right on the precipice of not having to say that.
Exactly.
That's
what sucks so much.
No, apparently we were always there, and you guys allowed yourself, and I commend you for it, to live in the moment and relish what it felt like as opposed to what it really was.
I don't think we deserve commendation or anything.
Okay,
I think we deserve nothing.
There you go.
Right, Ethan?
Just wallow
let's
in
just sit in this.
Let's just not talk the rest of the show.
Yeah, why are we talking about anything at all?
Yeah, why? What's the point of literally doing anything, Annie Frey?
I don't know, Ethan. I don't know. You're in charge of this ship today, and I said ship with a P.
I'm steering it straight into the rocks.
He's like, we shouldn't even be talking about this. Oh, man. X's and Y's next. The first question, why are men like that, Ethan? Why are you emotionally upset so much that you just can't move on?
I don't know.
So
I'm all over the place. I don't know
what to think. Send us your questions. Why do men always? Why are women like that? Those are the types of questions we want on the text line, 314-241-9797. You ask it, we'll probably air it on the show here and give you some answers. Next, don't go away. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com is the website. I encourage you to give Matt Hayes the opportunity to earn your business for your foundation repair needs. Lots of different things that they address at Home Shield Foundation Repair, from uneven, unlevel concrete that you stub your toe on and trip on that you don't want mom and dad to trip on when they're over at the house. Maybe it's a church and you need to get that concrete leveled out to keep people from, falling into a safety hazard, that kind of a situation. Or you got that wet basement and it's been like that. It's gotten worse over the years. You need to reclaim your home, your foundation, and you need to talk to somebody who can give you something, a solution to this problem that you can rely on. It's Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair. He's got an incredible team. And it's nice to shop with a family-owned local business like Home Shield Foundation Repair. So give him a call at 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. And talk to Matt Hayes and his team about foundation repair needs that you have. Online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Hey there, it's Jill Schlesinger. I'm launching a new show. It's called Money Moves, and your money is going to move. We're going to help you make better financial decisions. We're going to call out the BS you're finding all over social media. We're going to give you actionable guidance to make your financial life clearer, less stressful. We're going to answer your financial questions and take the mystery out of your financial life. Follow and listen to Money Moves with Jill Schlesinger wherever you get your podcasts.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
Men, need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
The YouTube live chat poll is which political party is corrupt? Is it neither, both, Republican or Democrat? I'm going to read a couple of your comments here. This one from Carbon-Based Dating. No, Carbon-Based Doug.
What?
I
What?
like the name. It says, I'm going to be literal and vote that neither party is corrupt. It's the amount of corrupt people in each party. On that point, Democrats have more corrupt members. Okay, well, I guess you're saying neither, but you're saying Democrat in the comment. All right, 236, thank you for voting and participating in this poll. And also, let us know if you have any X's and Y's question. You can leave those on the YouTube live chat.
You got an
there, too.
example of a question that might be fielded on the air if people want to text us, kind of give them the pathway?
A type of question would be something like the first question I ever asked on X's and Y's. I'm going all the way back. What is it like to have to change your last name if you're a woman?
That's a good one.
Stuff like that. Stuff that is gender specific. Ask us those questions. We will ask each other here shortly. 314-241-9797 to ask those questions. It is 2:37. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
2026 is a big year for America, and we'll be here with you, celebrating every step of the way. America 250 on 97.1 FM Talk, sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center. X's and Y's.
All right, one of my favorite segments that we do all week here. You said you had a couple from the text line. I'm going to start with one myself and ask you boys this question. And people can text us at 314-241-9797 while we start the show off. There are some issues that are discussed in politics that I think, not you guys necessarily specifically here, but I think that they kind of get lobbed into these are women's issues and men should shut up about it and not talk about it. I think that's part of the political strategy of the left on these issues. One of them is abortion, and the other one is boys playing in girls' sports. So my question to you two gentlemen here, James, you can jump in if you want to. You don't have to. My question to you guys is, do you feel like women should have the voice completely, the upper hand on issues like boys playing in girls' sports and abortion, or do you think that men have even bigger responsibility to step up on those issues and speak on them?
Well, I think with abortion, you're not going to like my answer, I don't think, but I do think women have a little bit more say. However, I think men have been relegated to the dustbin on that topic and shouldn't be. They have a role and need
in what
to
way
make it known.
can you define the responsibility that you or role? Can you define where women should have
a little bit more say? No, I don't. I need to think about that because I don't want to say something ahead of me putting a lot of thought into it, other than just to say that my initial impression is that men need to be involved in that decision. First of all, it takes two to make it, so it takes two to take it. And yet women do bear a little bit more responsibility because they're carrying the child, and they ultimately they can make that decision without a man because they're the ones doing it.
And I'll clarify too, I'm not talking about an individual situation where an abortion is being considered. I'm talking about the issue of abortion.
Oh gosh.
No, the idea of defending the life.
Okay.
Politically speaking, on an issue base, do you feel like men should be as vocal in the pro-life movement as women? Or do you feel like men should say, we're going to stand in solid, basically, are men allies in the pro-life movement, or should they be fighting just as hard as women?
I think a lot of times the attack that people that are pro-choice will use against men is that because the my body, my choice gives this implication that men have to have a control over women, when in reality, I can't speak for all men, but the counter argument that I always hear is that it has nothing to do with you. Like, do I care about you as a person? Absolutely, but the argument doesn't have to do with you. It has to do with the child inside of you. my personal opinion on this is if something's objectively wrong, then it's objectively wrong whether it is, male-centered or female-centered. And I think that there is a lot of different issues that throughout world history that if we only said, okay, well, this issue specifically was related to this group of people or that group of people, like, I think it's ridiculous to assume like that only one group of people can share their opinion on something. And that's what it feels like the abortion issue has really turned into, is that
I actually think that the biggest pushback personally against the pro-abort crowd that is negating the baby as a life, because to me, it doesn't matter where you come from, where you are in the issue. The first question, if you're ever going to talk about abortion with somebody, the first question that you have to both answer is, do you believe it's a life? Do you believe that is an autonomous human life that is growing inside of the woman? Because there are a lot of people who think abortion is fine and they don't believe it's a life. And you can't argue in favor of life when you're saying that it's something as simple as like expelling waste from your body. If that's what the other person believes, like, you have to make sure you agree on the set of facts. But I think that the most powerful pushback against what the left is really saying, like, abortion is a denigration of men, because it's taking men out of the picture. It's taking their responsibility for the creation of life, which obviously physically bears inside the womb of a woman, that never, ever happens without a man. So a man's participation in the creation of life is just as powerful as a woman's. Now, the woman bears a bigger responsibility in carrying that life to term. But don't you hear people on the left all the time talk about how much men suck and like how useless, or how, men don't stick around, they don't provide. Like, they just denigrate men over and over and over again. And for men to be like, oh, it's a woman's issue, I feel like that is the biggest confirmation for the left's position that men should shut up about abortion, because they're willing to back out of it. I mean, I know both of you, I know you guys are pro-life and advocate so, but I just think it's one of those things where it's like a tactic by the left to say men should not talk on this issue. What about boys and girls sports? Do you feel like that issue, which we just had a Supreme Court ruling on, do you feel like that is an issue that women should speak on louder than men?
No, I don't think they should. But a lot of times in those instances, a woman's voice is heard and makes more of an impact. So in that sense, I would say, yeah, I mean, you talk to somebody like Riley Gaines, who was directly affected by that. Her testimony goes a long way.
Even you hear examples of like kids that are in school now, and when they'll share about it, like you'll see those videos pop up on Twitter on the occasion of like, yeah, I'm 15 years old and I'm having to compete against biological males.
Change in a locker room?
That's going to impact me way more than some politician advocating for it. That's not to say they shouldn't, but the impact certainly is definitely there more.
Yeah, ultimately, people's testimonies matter in those stories a lot, and you're going to get a lot of women who've been affected because their sports have been infiltrated by men.
Do the dads, do the significant others, do they have a role?
Oh, yeah, and they should. And they should absolutely be advocating for their daughters or for their wives or girlfriends or whatever. So they should not sit that issue out at all. And I don't think they are. I don't think that's an issue where men are sitting it out. I think men are taking up that mantle and saying this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they're calling out other men. That's the thing. They're like, you can't do that to girls' sports. Stop doing that.
Yeah. I think it's equally important for men to stand up, but obviously the women who are affected, their stories are the ones that are being defended by men who are standing up, but men do need to stand up.
Can you imagine if Riley Gaines wouldn't have started what she's doing?
Well,
someone else probably would have done it at some point, but
there are Riley Gaineses out there.
But there are Riley Gaineses out there because of Riley Gaines.
Yeah.
So
I'm saying post Riley Gaines being a household name, I'm sure that there are women out there who are affected by this, but we're too scared to say anything.
Yeah.
And who are just too scared to say this is wrong and unfair. I don't hate that person. I don't wish ill on that person, but this is not fair.
Yeah, some of the most powerful testimonies, whether we're talking about abortion or about men playing in women's sports, are from people who did not want to be political. They didn't want to be involved in this issue.
Reluctant.
And all of a sudden, but here we are. I wanted to stay out of this. Isn't that a great message that Republicans, libertarians have tried to do for a lot? Just stay out of my life. I don't want to be involved. And they tried to do that. And they said, but it didn't get me anywhere because then it came to my doorstep and I had to deal with it. You hear that story a lot.
You got any questions from the text line?
Yeah, really
Set us
good
up
one.
for one, and we'll go to break, and we'll answer it when we come back. 314-241-9797 if you want to add to it before we wrap the show.
It's a great question. It says, do you think that shirtless men with walrus-like mustaches are attractive?
Gosh, yeah. Let's take a break so I can think about my answer to this one.
Now,
Did you text this?
No, I didn't, but there are two, and they're both on that subject. So we're going to need to consider that one and then go deeper with it after the break.
His big old face is on the TV right behind you right now. He looks like he's about to eat you with his mouth agape and his mustache dangling over his upper lip.
Well, I think I know how you're going to answer this question. You don't have to stick around for the next segment now.
That is terrible radio.
Why are we even talking?
What are we doing? What's going on? We'll wrap when we come back. Don't go away. The Retirement Advisory Group, online at retirementkey.com. Bob and Tammy Kershaw are such nice people, but they're really helpful when it comes to helping you prepare the transition into retirement. Now, if I'm going to give you retirement advice and you're my age and you're 42, the advice is like save everything you can. I'm not talking to people who are my age. I'm talking to people who are your age, people who are in their late 50s, early 60s, mid 60s, people who are thinking all the time about retiring and you haven't done it yet. What kind of moves do you need to make to protect your retirement? What kind of questions do you need to ask and answers do you need to get to know I'm ready to do this and I am super pumped to do this? Well, those answers come after a phone call to Bob and Tammy Kershaw at the Retirement Advisory Group, 314-993-9494. 314-993-9494. Come in for a free retirement review. You're going to get a copy of their latest edition book so you can even read up even more on your key to a worry-free retirement. They're good people, and they can help you make that transition into your retirement with confidence and peace of mind. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
This is a special place, but not by accident. Learn our backstory, and you'll even love America more. Celebrating America 250 on 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Brian Kilmeade.
America 250 is sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
This is JT the Mulch Man, here to save your yard this spring. Don't let your flower beds suffer from boring mulch or low-quality compost. Hansen's has premium mulch and compost to keep your plants thriving. Trust me, I'm the Mulch Man. Check us out at hansenstree.com.
Yow!
Let's take a break.
Good idea.
Hey, Tom, what are you doing on that Amendment 4?
You know we fought for our freedom and rights. I'm not giving them away without a fight.
4 takes them?
That's exactly what 4 does. For over 100 years, Missouri voters have used our constitutional power to act when the politicians refused. I'll be darned if I'm voting to pass on less freedom and power to my kids.
And doesn't 4 also kill majority rule?
Yup. Creates minority rule, where just 5% of the most liberal statewide voters in one Missouri congressional district that block any citizen-led reform, making it nearly impossible to pass common-sense conservative citizen ballot measures.
That's crazy town stuff.
And we've needed our citizen ballot measure power to pass some big conservative stuff, like outlawing tax hikes without voter approval, lobbyist reforms, and term limits for career politicians.
No way I'm letting a tiny fraction of liberals derail our conservative power. I'm no on Amendment 4.
Hard no on 4.
Petty 4 buttons are inch per care governance.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Back with some X's and Y's questions here from the text line. Ryan, what do you got?
Well, first, do you think that shirtless men with walrus-like mustaches are attractive?
Walrus-like mustaches are not attractive.
Okay, thank you. But now this is a separate text came in like a half hour after that one. It said, X's and Y's, would women find Graham Platner's or John Bolton's mustache more attractive and why?
One or the other?
Yeah, you got to pick one or the other. Graham Platner's?
Well, I don't know if
or
John Bolton's ever
Bolton's?
been accused of what Graham Platner's been accused
I
of.
don't
So
know.
I'm going
His has
with
that kind of like fake puppet mustache
Mr.
thing.
Bolt.
You're going to go with Bolton?
Yeah, every day.
Okay. I would answer, but I can't because it's only addressed to women.
I was a huge fan until he turned into a crazy person.
You were a huge fan of his mustache or just John Bolton?
Just the mustache.
I could say the same.
Gross. Next question.
Next question, I will ask this. Do you use blankets to get cozy in the summer?
Yes.
Are you always cold?
I don't like to be cold. I would rather be hot than cool.
Have scientists figured this out yet where we all joke that women are always cold? Has somebody come up with a real biological response to that?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of biology to why women are traditionally colder than men. But, I mean, there's a lot of things you can buy. You can buy, like, beds that cool on one side and heat on the other, and blankets that you can cover up with but keep you cool. I don't understand that science, but I'm here for it. But, I mean, we'll turn the house down at nighttime. The AC is at 67 for sleeping purposes because kids sleep better when they're cool and tucked in under the covers. And I, too, sleep better if I'm tucked in cozy under the covers. But I love a good blanket. Do you use blankets? Wait a second. Do men use blankets?
Well, I think you know because you know some men.
I don't think my husband uses blankets.
Really? I can't sleep
in
something.
a bed, yes. But, like, when you sit down on the couch, are you cozying up under a blanket?
No, if I'm going to sleep past, a quick nap, I have to have a blanket. I can just fall asleep randomly if I need to.
Yeah,
like in a
you were
car.
doing that in the 1 o'clock hour.
Oh, I do that regularly. But I can't sleep long term without some sort of cover. And that may be...
It's a security thing.
It's got to be security. Like my deepest need would be to not be attacked by a bear.
Oh.
And therefore, I need to know that I'm covered.
I feel like under a blanket, you're just less exposed. And if I'm asleep, I want to be less exposed.
Yeah. And a bear would be like, I don't even know if there's a person in there because it's covered.
I don't even know what's under there. I'm just going to leave it be.
Yeah. They would just, that's why I leave a picnic basket next to my bed.
Okay. The bear situation is out of control. Do you have more questions from the text line?
No. Well, I haven't been able to catch up, so maybe, but it'll have to give me a minute.
Here's a question. Do men have more feelings than they want to talk about? So the presence of feelings feels like men traditionally don't want to talk about feelings. Is it true that you don't want to talk about feelings? And how many more feelings do you have than you ever allow people to see?
I don't know the second part of that question. The first part, which is, do we want to talk about feelings?
Do you want to talk about them more than is
acceptable?
Or than is like stereotyped?
Not really.
Do you want to talk about them less than is stereotyped?
No.
You're good with the I don't want to talk about feelings?
It's fine right where it's at. What was the second part?
Do you if you could quantify the amount of feelings that you actually have and experience versus the amount of feelings that you actually show? Do you have a lot more feelings than you show, or are you just feelingless?
I tend to show my feelings pretty openly, so I'm probably a bad example of that. But, everybody has a little bit more going on than they're willing to share. So I guess the answer is yes, but it's not like there's a lot more, and men are
Which
just
feelings do you
desiring to get it
wish
out.
that you could express more than you do? Are they happy feelings? Are they sad, fear, scared of something, anxiety, worry, anger? It feels to me like the emotion that men express the most is probably anger.
Anger or stress. I would say stress is something that men do not want to talk, at least in my opinion, don't want to talk about because everybody's dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to bring it up because you're like, well, if I bring it up, then you got your thing too. Why are we just talking about stress all the time? So everybody just deal with your own stress.
Yeah. Like a level best on most of the emotions. You can be a little high, be a little low.
Yeah.
It is what it is. The YouTube poll for today, which did you decide? Which political party is corrupt?
I just went with real world examples and said Democrat.
Well, we've got 200 votes here on the YouTube live chat poll. 2% said neither. That's the 2% you want to talk to, Ryan. 5% voted the Republican Party only. 37% said the Democrat Party, and 57% voted today that both parties are corrupt. Keep it here on 97.1 FM Talk. Mark Reardon coming up next.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
AI can help you age-proof your career.
Being familiar with AI, how to use AI, and helping the firm implement